pain. He thrashed around, accidentally bumping people. Onlookers stared with wide, worried eyes. A massive skeleton with a long blade attacked, striking many warriors in one single swing. Determined like a wolf, Chu-Yi watched as a skeleton on a bird yelled, "Die!" Before it could finish its scary move, Zhongya's teeth clamped tightly onto the bird's wing. The skeleton tumbled and the bird was done. Zhongya didn't quit, despite his battle scratches. He looked toward the swirling clouds as a purple vortex opened up once again. Oh boy. A spooky, bony face peeked out. Zhongya realized a heavenly demon. How very troublesome. If they pass, our lovely land becomes a wasteland. Everyone will just be a demon snack. To protect those polite, innocent souls, Suya stomped his foot, cracking the floor beneath him. No way I won't let them through. He zoomed forward like a bright, shiny star. I'll sacrifice my dragon life to save everyone. Zhongya flew straight at the portal's skeleton. He dove inside, pulling the monster with him. The gate snapped shut with a colorful flash. Chu-Yi shielded his eyes from the blinding light. The huge explosion made the ground crumble. The portal sparkled like a dying star before finally fading away. Everyone held their breath as the light dimmed. In a blink, the gateway vanished, leaving only a quiet sky behind. Happy whispers soon turned into loud, joyful cheers. That scary gate was finally history. Everyone celebrated their hero, Lord Zhongya, for teaching those demons a lesson. What a relief our home is safe once again. But while everyone partied, Chu-Yi stayed quiet, lost in his own polite little thoughts. He gave up his precious dragon core to save the day. "Hooray for Lord Zhongya!" they shouted. "With a leader like him, we have nothing to worry about." Looking over the quiet fields, he gave a tiny, happy smile. Things turned out perfectly. He finally kept that big promise from long ago. A sudden shout made him turn. A very dashing man was rushing his way. Wait, is that the famous Chu clan ancestor? Talk about a surprise wake-up call. Whoosh! A giant scary blade almost gave him a haircut. Luckily, Chu-Yi blocked it just in time with his favorite trusty sword. Sliding across the slippery ice, he noticed a strange glow inside the monster. He tilted his head, wondering what was hiding inside that bag of bones. A pretty blue light flickered deep inside the skeleton. His eyes went wide as he realized it was a genuine dragon scale. Chu-Yi chuckled. How did I miss that? These bone demons are so polite and organized with their simple, easy-to-guess moves. He watched the skeleton rattle and shake. After a moment, he nodded with a bright smile. Yep, just as I thought. These guys were the troublemakers who took down Zhongya. The ancestor clearly wanted them to stick around for a very long time. In his usual polite voice, he explained how the ancestor wiped out their home and cursed them to keep waking up forever. Using a dragon scale for fuel, he turned them into forever guards. Now they politely ask anyone who barges in to leave with swords. Plus, even if you break these skeletons into tiny bits, they just pop right back together like Lego bricks. This is quite a workout, he whispered. No wonder everyone else in the family gets stuck on this tricky second test. If I just act super friendly, he figured they won't have a reason to fight. He started strolling peacefully through the deep, fluffy snow. What a clever trick. He thought it was a brilliant way to get even by using the bad guys' own bodies as shields. Making them stay half dead forever is a pretty tough punishment. Honestly, that is way more intense than just saying goodbye for good. The chilly wind nipped at his nose, but he just felt more inspired. His ancestor was seriously cool. He stood tall, feeling very brave in the cold. One day I will be even more amazing than you. He stood on the mountain peak before taking a brave hop down toward the valley. Bam! An invisible wall smacked him right out of the air. Chu-Yi went tumbling into some pointy rocks. Ouch, that has gotta hurt. He shook his head, wondering what he bumped into. Wait, what happened? Then a giant fancy ghost dragon appeared, looking very tall and important. Who are you? Why are you walking here? Did those naughty people who locked me in the freezer send you... Chu-Yi tried to be nice, but the dragon just grumbled. Are you kidding? A level 30 newbie like you is not worth my time. You little thieves, you just want my family's power. You smell just like those meanies who caused all that trouble before. The dragon got even crankier. Do you want to see me lose my cool? You humans are so greedy and silly. Go ahead, try something. You just want to use me. Chu-Yi waved his hands. Wait, I am part of the Chu family too. But the dragon Shuangya did not want to hear it. The Chu family. As if I would care about that right now. He attacked with a grumpy roar. No more fibs, you little pest. I am going to turn you into confetti. Chu-Yi jumped out of the way, thinking, whoa, he is fast. This is getting a little bit dangerous. As lasers zoomed past, Chu-Yi stayed polite. A long time ago, you gave up your core to save us from the demons. You are our family's biggest hero. But Shuangya just kept shouting grumpy things, not listening to a single word. My core is super important. Why would I ever do something so silly as taking it out myself? You must have swiped it. Stop playing games. Lies, all lies. He started smashing the ice into a million little pieces. I will teach all you tricksters a lesson, he roared. Even though he was hurting, Chu-Yi stayed sweet. Please just hear me out. A giant tail swung his way. I said scram, little guy. Chu-Yi went flying, but he landed as gracefully as a gymnast. Star. It looks like poor Shuangya has forgotten everything. Being stuck in the ice for a century would make anyone a bit cranky. Star, his head is in a total muddle. He really is a grand and powerful friend to my ancestor, though. Even after 100 years, his power is still super spooky. Feeling a bit tired, our hero finally got a very serious look on his face. He was not going to run away, even if he was a much lower level. There was no way he would give up on a new friend. He did not come all this way just to leave with nothing. A bright cross glowed on his forehead as he called out a friendly challenge. You want to blow off some steam? Then let us go. I will fight you until your memory comes back. He fired a shiny golden blast. Boom. Their amazing powers crashed together. The big dragon spat out another giant ball of super strong energy. It flew toward him, making a big snowy mess. Chu-Yi charged through the clouds. Okay, let us see what you have got. Since the legendary Chu ancestor bonded with you, I can certainly do the same. Let's head back to the clan. With a cheerful shout, he began a rhythmic dance with his blade. Nearby, Ling Fang was staying cool by snacking on a dragon-shaped ice cream bar. Talk about being totally chill. Munching on a rare Chu family treat, Ling Fang joked, she's been standing there for 3 days and nights. She's like a loyal statue waiting for her hubby. Nian shot him a look through the glass. Do you want to keep that tongue? I can fix that for you. Ling Fang's smile vanished. He tried to behave, but he just couldn't help himself from teasing her again. So you're officially Kong Sonyan now, right? Suddenly, Haibok tumbled into the room looking completely frazzled and panicked. This is terrible. You two have to vanish right now. They both asked, wait, what happened? She rushed past them, her words coming out in a frantic, polite blur. My father insisted I get you both out before she gets here. Ling Fang asked urgently, wait, where on earth is Chu Van right now? What's going on? Give us the tea. Hai grabbed Sonyan's hand with a worried look. I can't explain everything, just please follow me. However, Sonyan stayed cool as a cucumber despite the chaos. Sweetie, we can't really solve a mystery if we don't have all the facts first. Besides, Big Brother Chu-Yi is still down in the abyss. I'm not ditching him. Ling Fang nodded in total agreement. She's totally right, you know. I'm not some weakling. Just tell us the situation. He gave a polite little cough. We want to help if we can. Hai gestured wildly, trying to explain. Oh, I didn't mean anything mean by that. It's just way too dangerous for you. If you stay, it'll be too late to escape. Chu Hong's attack zipped right past Lady Hong, catching her off guard. He spoke with a gentle authority. Now listen here, Lady Hong. The Chu estate is no place for such rude behavior. Meanwhile, Ling Fang and Sonyan wove their energy into threads, cleverly binding the lady's fingers. She just rolled her eyes with pure disdain. Chu Hang, you're suppressing your bloodline, so your power isn't even 30% of level 40. You really think you can halt me? Chu Hang stood firm, protecting Chu Van with a calm face. No matter what mess our family faces today, we won't let a stranger harm our guests. He resolved to guard them. Chu-Yi is currently hitting a massive level up right in the abyss. I won't let her spoil this, even if I have to risk my own meridians. I just need to stall until Chu-Yi finally finishes his training. He conjured a giant glacier that roared toward Lady Hong elsewhere. She smirked and whispered, "And where do you think you're going, little one?" Lady Hong rested casually against a fallen foe. Then a familiar voice echoed from the door. "It's been a long time, little girl." Xiaoi Lingfong and Chan were totally floored. No way you're actually still alive. 30 minutes prior, inside a fancy and beautiful traditional parlor, Lady Hong and the Chu patriarch were having a very polite meeting. Lady Hong spoke first. "Sir, here is this year's Frost Essence crystal supply." Suddenly, another friendly voice joined in. "Lady Hong, we are so sorry for the long trip. Just say the word and we'll deliver it next time." Right beside them sat several shiny treasure chests. Inside was the Frost Essence crystal, a rare epic tier gem glowing with magical power. Another friendly face, Chu Fang, the third elder of the clan, chimed in. He signaled the staff to step forward while Chu Hang sat politely nearby. A line of helpers arrived, showing off each beautiful treasure. First is the celestial snow silk, perfect for crafting some truly amazing stealth equipment. Next is the mystic ice jade, a wonderful choice for upgrading your favorite weapons. It even adds a chilly frostbite debuff to every single attack. Just like we promised last year, we've gathered these heavenly materials just for you. Lady Hong gave a polite yet slightly chilly little laugh. She buffed her nails and teased, "Just this, you guys must be joking." I bet the Chu clan is hoarding the legendary loot and refusing to share. Are you even serious about getting those frost essence crystals this year? Chu Hang stood up. Lady Hong, what exactly are you implying? Our clan works so hard every year to collect these rare treasures. She grabbed a fancy weapon, the legendary Frostbite Halberd. It's a level 30 item with 350 attack power, plus 120 ice damage. The Patriarch thought, she's getting greedier every year. I wonder what kind of clever plan she's cooking up this time. She snapped the halberd in half. I'm bored of looking at these flashy toys. Let's try a new trade this year if the Patriarch is feeling adventurous. I'll give you a full year's worth of those lovely frost essence crystals. The elder kept his friendly smile and asked for her terms. Chu Hang grew a bit suspicious of her sudden act of kindness. Something feels fishy, he whispered. A person, the Patriarch asked, shocked. And who might that be? She asked smoothly. Our young friend Chu Yi. Chu Hang almost lost his cool, but the Patriarch stayed perfectly polite. Lady Hong, you're too funny. People aren't exactly on the trade menu, right? Deep down, Chu Hang was super nervous, wondering why she wanted Chu Yi. Joking, you're the one being funny, she said with a cheeky grin. One person to save the whole clan. That's a total bargain, guys. Hearing this, the Chu Patriarch made his final decision very quickly. I must kindly ask you to leave. Chu Yi is family, not merchandise. Ignoring him, she went back to admiring her perfect manicure. If you refuse, will your clan even last for 2 more months? The third elder looked at the Patriarch with a very worried expression. We lost 3 children last year to that annoying bloodline curse. If the crystal supply is cut off, things will get very cold indeed. He knew the Mammoth Guild owned the only crystal mine around. Thanks to the curse, the Chu bloodline grows thinner with every new generation. They don't just need the crystals, they use them to boost their blood for a sweet cultivation power-up. Plus, it's the only way to keep those freezing symptoms away. So they have to keep trading with the Mammoth Guild every single year. Enough, the Patriarch finally declared. I would rather see our family line end today. We will not trade our kin for survival. The elder sighed, countering, Patriarch, even if you ignore us, please think of the children. Young Chu Yi is gifted, but still a boy. Frowning, the elder stood to vent. Survival is everything. Without our people, we have nothing. The Patriarch answered softly, Chu Yi owes us nothing. He should not suffer for our sake. The elder shouted, We are out of time. But the Patriarch stayed firm. Lady Hong, please depart. Secretly, she thought, what a silly man. She wants him because his potential is legendary. If we cannot protect him, our clan is doomed. Lady Hong turned cold. Fine then, she whispered. Since you want to play the hero, she rose with her crew, issuing one final threat. No more frost essence crystals for you. Go rot away with your silly crumbling pride. Back to the present, Lady Hong thanked her helper, then suddenly choked the poor girl with sharp silk threads. As the girl fell, Lady Hong grinned at the memory. Calling for help right in front of me. How bold am I, blind? Sun Sin arrived looking quite worried. Lin Fong stood his ground while Hyobak charged, shouting, I will be the one to finish you. Her minions were a mess, but Lin Fong did not slow down. He launched a relentless flurry. Monsters swarmed Sun Sin, but she sliced them to bits. Their remains rained onto the cold floor. Lin Fong cast a firewall, making the lady smile. Teamwork after 3 days. You have been practicing hard. This is getting fun. I am starting to like you. Lady Hong noticed our heroes were about to level up. She laughed. You are geniuses. What a pity. So close to victory, yet about to become dust. Sun Sin helped Hyobak up, worried about his safety. Did we not beat her? Why is she back? Distracted. She missed a sneaky thread creeping closer. Hyobak tried to warn her, but he was speechless. The thread crept closer while Sun Sin remained unaware. It coiled tight. Lady Hong's voice echoed. What a pity your battle experience is so lacking. Poor Lin Fong was trapped by bursting strings. She boasted, I am the Lady of House Teach. Warm-up is over. I will handle you personally. A string snatched Suni as Lady Hong teased her. Lost your spark. Lin Fong hit the wall hard. My threads adore your heat. Tiny fire dragon. They both floated up completely frozen. Lady Hong laughed. Challenging me? You are way outclassed. You are still rookies. Suddenly she turned stern. Where is Chu Yi? He just roared in response. Release me or I will toast you alive. Lady Hong stepped gracefully toward the nearby curtains, staying silent. Chu Yi braved the wind mountains for her. He roared, keep your hands off of her. Chu Van was hidden, but the lady spotted her. A spooky voice whispered from behind the fabric. Can you see your brother? Sunny shouted with all her might. Please give me your power again. Red strings swirled around her hands. She was steaming. Fine time for a lesson in true strength. Her puppet squad attacked with total fury. Strange blue marks started glowing on Chu Hong's face. He realized she would use every puppet for Chu Yi. He grabbed his chain and jumped into action. Kuang Sunan, Shenlin Fong, grab the others and run. I will distract them. Go now. Lady Hong screamed, "Nobody escapes today." They grabbed their friends and shouted, "We are on it." Meanwhile, Chu Yi gripped a ball of pure energy. He faced the beast and punched its face. "Take this sacred fist barrage. Sacred." He narrowly dodged a beam of light shooting right past him. He struck with his ultimate move, Holy Light Cross, disappear into the light. The beast saw its end and whispered, "Master." A divine punch came flying straight down. Hand of God. Silence returned as dust drifted. Chu Yi touched down, acting totally cool as always. "Peace at last." The monster asked, "Who are you?" He replied, "I am Chu Yi of House Chu." While resting, he shared the beast's legend. 100 years ago, you saved the world from demons. My ancestor was actually your old master. He locked your spirit away right here. After Chu Fam vanished to save you, Chungi stepped up with a cheeky smile and a brilliant plan. "Tag along, youngster. I'll be your brand new guardian starting now. Your soul was trapped here, nearly losing its marbles while searching for the exit. Luckily, I used a few unique tricks to snap you back to reality." The dragon let out a massive sigh. "My power core is toast. Is this really curtains for me? Is a second chance even possible?" He wondered, feeling unsure. A full century rolled by, and his dear teacher was a distant memory. The creature stared straight at our hero. "Ah, so you're hunting for that legendary soul," Kenya pointed out kindly. "Your magical foundation is totally soaked in shadows. You'll need some sparkling, pure energy to get fixed up and restored properly. Merging feels like 10,000 tiny ants nibbling on your heart. It's going to feel like your body is being torn apart. Can you handle that?" Without even a flinch, Chu Yi said, "I'm ready." A little physical ache is peanuts compared to the misery of being too weak to save my favorite person. Kenya was super impressed by the boy's incredible grit. This youngster from the Chu family definitely has a spine made of solid, pure steel. He tapped into a massive wave of energy. All right, time for the big transformation. A bright orange swirl exploded, twinkling with beautiful emerald stardust. His icy veins started warming up as a strange green mist hugged him. Deep down, the frozen cage around his energy paths finally started to crack. Gritting his teeth, Chu Yi braced himself against the massive wave of agony. As his face scrunched up, Kenya offered a few sweet, encouraging words. "Just a little longer. Your broken energy paths are finally stitching back together. Without this lucky break, you wouldn't have lasted another month in this world." Those emerald lights worked like magic, rebuilding his broken bones and spirit. Every internal boo-boo began to heal, even if it felt like total torture. Blood dripped from his face, but he didn't make a single peep. The emerald glow stayed strong, mending our young hero's heart with pure grace. Shu Yun beamed with happy relief, and the whole group felt the same. But then Suran noticed something weird. The dark sky above was actually splitting. A mysterious figure appeared standing tall in front of the giant, ancient dragon. Suddenly, system notifications started popping up one after another in the air. "Fusion is 100% complete. Your base is perfectly restored. Ice power increased by 500%. Oh my, look. Real dragon horns appeared. Congratulations. You cleared the hidden mission. Your reward is the dragon god's domain skill." Kenya watched over him with a polite, protective little smile. Madame Hong wiggled her deadly puppet strings, catching a young girl in seconds. With a flick of her wrist, she dropped the poor thing right down. She tossed a red silk ribbon toward Chu Yun with a naughty grin. "Sweet sister, don't be scared," she cooed. "Come closer and play with me." Before she could move, the red silk wrapped around her like a snake. "Be a good girl and lead me to your big brother right now." Suddenly, a grubby hand grabbed her ankle. "Let her go," someone croaked. Madame Hong looked down and sneered at the poor soul touching her. A dying lizard trying to be a hero. How adorable, right, Ling Fang? He used his last bit of spirit to shield little Chu Yun from the madame. "Hands off," he yelled, but the madame just gave a mean little smirk. "You're a total mess," she teased. "You can't even save your own skin." It was quite a scene. Even though he was exhausted, Ling Feng was determined to protect her. "What do you know about anything, Shen Ling Feng?" She laughed. "I'll never let you hurt her," he promised. But the madam just gave the order. "Let go already," she snapped. Ling Feng just held on tighter. Madame Hong rudely stomped her foot right on his poor hand to break his grip. "Giving up yet?" she mocked. Despite the ouchies, he wouldn't budge. By now, sweet Chu Yun was crying buckets of big tears. "Please, Mr. Shen, just stop," she sobbed. "Don't worry about me. Just save yourself." "My brother won't be mad." Ling Fong let out a roar and bit the madame's leg. "No way," he growled. Madame Hong was looking quite grumpy now. She kicked him away pretty hard. "Gosh, what a total weirdo," she grumbled. Ling Fong skidded across the floor, using his hands to stay upright. Mr. Shen Chu Yun cried out. Meanwhile, Madame Hong was stroking her chin and thinking, "This kid is quite plucky to have such a fancy protector. This Chu Yi fellow seems like a very shiny prize indeed." She snapped her fingers, looking annoyed. "You're really just a giant bother, aren't you? I'm bored with you now, so let's wrap this up." She wrapped a nasty string around his neck. "Bye-bye," she chirped as it pulled tight. Ling Fong struggled for air, his face turning bright red from the painful pressure. "Brother Shen, run," Chu Yun wailed, as her heart totally broke. She begged Madame Hong, "I'll do whatever you want, just please don't hurt him." Suddenly, a massive, super heavy energy began to fill the entire area. Even the scary Madame Hong felt a shiver of real fear from this incredible power. "That pressure is absolutely terrifying," she muttered to herself. Out of nowhere, a massive energy blast sent the mean Madame Flying Chu Yi showed up in a sparkly flash, rocking golden wings to save her. "Big brother," Chu Yun gasped. Chu Yi took a quick look at the mess. Ling Fong was beat up and Su Ran was tangled in puppet strings. Little ran. He then spotted Xiao Bai and Uncle Hang resting nearby. He let out a puff of smoke, looking totally calm despite the chaos. In an instant, his eyes swapped colors, one glowing gold and the other cool blue. He summoned magic chains. "Holy lightning!" The Madame gasped, surprised. She looked quite excited as Chu Yi suddenly appeared right in front of her. Tons of puppets appeared in her hands with a quick flick. "So you finally showed up?" She giggled. But any puppet that got close was instantly poofed away. Suddenly she popped up right behind him. "Be a good little boy and just come home with me, okay?" She purred. Chu Yi didn't say a word. He just stomped, shattering the ground. He zoomed past her, holding his sister, while a power wave nicked the Madame's neck. Chu Yi's insane strength sent the villain flying far away. His strength is so scary, Lady Hong thought, feeling very spooked. Most of her puppets were trashed, but a few high-level ones were still okay. No puppet could survive Zhou Yi's cheerful, relentless barrage. Those level 20 dolls, simply high-priced paperweights now. My precious level 40 guardians cost a fortune to craft, yet he makes my elite collection look like total amateurs. Eager for a polite win, Lady Hong lunged forward once more. Flashing her threads, she cried out, "This is impossible." Level 30. A 15-level gap should be unbeatable. You've piqued my interest. "Catch him for me, darling," she told her doll. Silk threads wove into a shimmering net, trapping Zhou Yi and his sister inside a red sphere. Lady Hong smiled confidently. "Since you're busy shielding your sister, those flashy high-level skills are useless now, aren't they?" She and her doll charged, striking the orb with full force. Inside, Zhou Yi remained perfectly calm, whispering divine tempest. An explosion erupted, shattering the sphere into stardust. The blast was massive. Yet Zhou Yi's corner stayed perfectly tidy. Lady Hong panicked, desperate for a backup plan. His power level is broken. Things are getting way too sketchy. Time to wrap this up. "Zhou." Yi advanced politely with a command. Sensing disaster, Lady Hong shrieked, "Wait just a moment." She tried a desperate bluff. "Harm me and the guild will hunt you. This is their highest priority bounty, you know. If I tear this, they'll track you to the ends of the earth. Trust me, it's not a fun time." Hoping to scare him, she added, "Surely you want your family safe." But the dragon's intense aura glared her down. Lady Hong trembled. What kind of monster is he? Realizing she'd messed up, she bowed her head and smiled politely. "Oh, great Master Zhou. This whole ordeal was just one big silly misunderstanding." As the spectral dragon circled, Lady Hong begged, "I messed up. Targeting your sister was a terrible, horrible call. And Basabu. Spare me and I'll give you all my marrow crystals. Your clan can even own part of the mine." "Zhou." Yi frowned. "An entire mine." "Yes," she chirped. "Enough crystals to fuel your family's progress for an entire century. Think of the possibilities. With this wealth, your family's icy bloodline curse will be totally solved forever. You can level up in peace. Why bother with a nobody like me? I'll even be your most dedicated assistant. Just say the word and I'll do anything." But deep down, her sneaky heart was already plotting an escape. She thought, "Once my strings are set, I can teleport home. I just need to keep him talking for a bit." "Almost ready." As he listened to her chatter, Zhou Yi's polite smile began to fade ever so slightly. Recognizing her trickery, Zhou Yi shut her down. "No thanks. A true master isn't swayed by petty bribes or empty threats." Lady Hong froze her voice, trembling in disbelief. With a simple wave of his hand, Zhou Yi unleashed a massive shockwave. She frantically wove a spirit shield, but Zhou Yi's overwhelming power shattered it into 1,000 pieces instantly. Lady Hong's eyes widened in sheer terror. Her final realization: he isn't just some knight, he's a radiant leveling god. Incredible victory secured. Zhou Yi hurried to his sister. He snapped the binding threads and caught her before she fell. He whispered softly, "I'm finally home." Ling Fang stood stunned. This enemy was once considered an unbeatable legend. Zhou Yi won in mere seconds. How is that possible? Ling Fang stared, dreaming of one day reaching that same height. Placing a hand over his heart, Zhou Yi bowed gracefully. "Thank you," he said, offering Ling Fang his sincere gratitude. "Thanks for guarding my sister." Ling Fang laughed heartily. "Then heal me already. I'm literally leaking all over the floor, Dee." Meanwhile, the patriarch stood in silent reflection before a grand portrait of Zhou Yi. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out to him. The elder turned slowly. "So we finally meet. I failed as a leader by allowing such chaos to unfold. I am truly ashamed." Zhou Yi cut straight to the point. "Let's skip the formalities if you don't mind. Why do you need that crystal? Our clan must remain strong. If not, I can't let her stay here any longer." The patriarch wondered if Zhuo Hong had spilled the secret. Zhou Yi nodded. He mentioned a few things. The elder gaped. Despite the chaos, the boy's aura remained calm. His gaze was 100 times sharper than any pampered noble brat's. The elder explained the bloodline curse that halted their growth, leaving them too weak to endure the biting internal cold. "Every single year, our kin are forced to freeze to death from the inside out. Even your sister has suffered. Fortunately, her case was mild, which is why that cold lotus actually helped her. But for most of our people, the ice marrow crystal is the only way to survive the frost. Lady Hong exploited our struggle." The patriarch sighed. She kept hiking the prices until her bullying became totally unbearable. "She actually planned to trade you for those crystals." Anger filled his voice, but Zhou Yi held up a hand. "Starting today, we are finished paying that greedy tribute. Consider the matter closed." Leaning on his cane, the old patriarch broke everything down for Zhu Yi. Facing Lady Hong was just the warm-up. Behind her stands the Misty Merchant Guild, a titan controlling the vital ice marrow mines. Honestly, we were ready to beg them for a break, but then Zhu Yi dropped a total bombshell. "Lady Hong, she's officially out of the picture." The room went dead silent, as both leaders looked like they'd seen a restless spirit. Trembling with pure shock, the patriarch could barely stammer. "Wait, she's what?" "She's a level 45 puppet master, with an army of guards protecting her. Even with your new Dragon Abyss power-up taking her down, should have been a total pipe dream." Zhu Yi just stayed cool as a cucumber, explaining the whole situation. He told them she got way too arrogant and didn't bother bringing a single bodyguard along. Plus, that icy abyss tripled my elemental skills. Right then, Zhu Yi summoned the legendary Frost Fang. Most importantly, I managed to fully awaken its spirit while I was down there. The patriarch's eyes nearly popped out from pure joy. "Frost Fang has finally woken up? Does it still remember our noble ancestors?" Zhu Yi spoke up for the blade. "It remembers helping me heal and take down Lady Hong, but its dragon soul is still recovering. I've sealed it inside me and won't wake it unless things get really dicey." Hearing that the Chu patriarch just burst into a fit of jolly laughter, he was so stoked he actually dropped his cane and fell right to his knees. He clasped his hands in a quick prayer before the family portrait. "Ancestors, did you catch that our boy actually did it? Winning Frostfang's heart at such a young age, that's some serious main character destiny. To be honest, even our legendary founders couldn't match a feat like that. The student has officially surpassed the master," the patriarch thought, beaming with pride. "I knew he was a genius, but this is way beyond my wildest dreams." He threw his hands up and cheered, "The heavens haven't given up on our clan." Seeing the commotion, Zhu Yi kindly leaned down to retrieve the fallen cane. With a polite grin, he said, "Patriarch, let's get you back on your feet first, okay?" After standing up, the old man chuckled. "Sorry, I just got a bit carried away." Then Zhu Yi got down to brass tacks. "What's the real deal with that merchant guild?" He realized a shadowy cult was already targeting young Zhu Yun. "I can't exactly be her 24/7 bodyguard forever. If I help the Chu clan settle this guild business, this will be the safest spot for her to stay." The Chu patriarch didn't hold anything back from Zhu Yi. Stroking his beard, he began the tale. Believe it or not, the Misty Merchant Guild started as a tiny shop. Just a small storefront on a sleepy corner. A low-level scrapper named Lo Xuen barely survived by smuggling ore. Then 10 years ago, everything shifted. That specific year was a total game-changer. A massive blizzard slammed into Black Wind Valley, completely paralyzing every single trade route for miles. Lo Xuen ventured into the valley with a crew. 45 days later, he was the only one who made it back. Suddenly, he had a mountain of rare ice crystals. He even scored some legendary silver essence ore. That's the kind of high-tier loot you only see once in 100 years. Patriarch Chu pulled out a wooden box to show the receipts. Lu claimed he stumbled onto a secret mineral vein and somehow snagged the official mining permits. Plenty of greedy folks tried to find his secret spot, but none returned. They either got hopelessly lost or ended up as permanent ice sculptures outside the valley. Not a soul has actually seen this mine with their own eyes. Ju Yi felt a sudden prickle of trouble. Honestly, the timing was just a little too perfect. The leader's expression turned quite grim. The weirdness doesn't stop there, he added. 3 years back, traveling merchants sold us those ice crystals regularly, though they were pricey. Still, it was just enough to keep our modest clan afloat. But then, during that fateful spring, those very same merchants, they vanished into thin air. The entire crystal market dried up overnight. Right as we started to panic, the polite Madame Hong came calling. Back then, she offered a sweet deal. Her Ice Dragon Guild promised half-price minerals, their only catch. Our clan had to help with a few tiny favors. Ju Yi tilted his head, repeating tiny favors with a skeptical smirk. Recalling those dark days, the leader sighed. To be brutally honest, she basically wanted our clan to be her personal group of tough guys. We were forced to bully the smaller families who refused to play ball with the guild. Around here, most small clans struggle with bloodline defects. The guild provides the cure, but the price is steep. They have to hand over their most talented kid. But once those bright children are taken, they never return home. Those families absolutely despise the guild, yet they're terrified of losing their only lifeline. Naturally, they took all that anger out on us. We became the guild's neighborhood attack dogs. For 2 years, our members have been harassed whenever they step out. It was a clever scheme to leave us totally isolated without a single ally left in the world. After hearing the whole messy story, Ju Yi rubbed his chin, piecing together the plot. Step 1, you seize control of the entire supply. Step 2, you play the hero with low prices while using the Zhou clan as the bad guys. Finally, you make them the neighborhood's public enemy number 1. The leader nodded. Spot on. After that, every shipment came with even scarier demands. We knew we were walking straight into a deadly trap. But to keep our children safe, we had to close our eyes and jump into the fire. He gently pulled out an ice crystal to show Ju Yi. Take a look at this one. This crystal arrived last year. 3 years ago, they were a beautiful, pure shade of sky blue. But lately, they've started showing this nasty, murky black tint. Ju Yi reached out and took the stone as the leader continued his explanation. Madame Hong claimed it was just deep earth impurities. However, our family doctor suspects these crystals are being corrupted by something truly sinister. The second Ju Yi's fingers touched the surface, a soft golden mist began dancing around his palm. This warm power started to spread immediately. Strangely, a tiny wisp of dark energy tried to hide from the light, but Ju Yi's golden aura quickly chased away every bit of that gloomy shadow. Ju Yi thought, this demonic vibe is faint, but it's definitely familiar. I'm positive I've run into this specific aura somewhere before. He suddenly blinked as a new thought hit him. There's one more thing, the clan leader said, cutting him off with a look. Once the Great Lord awakens, your family's curse will be a total piece of cake. Still, Zhou Yi suspected Lu Xuan wasn't the true mastermind. However, the clan leader was quick to dismiss that theory with total certainty. Controlling a level 45 puppeteer requires massive power. Luan just doesn't have that level of juice. Zhou Yi finally realized the truth. Madame Hong is gone and the guild will want revenge. I'll take the fall. Moved by his kindness, the leader nearly burst into tears. You're a true Zhou. You carry our ancestors' noble spirit. The old man gave Zhou Yi a supportive, friendly pat on the shoulder. Your struggle is our struggle. We're in this together. We'll face any storm by your side. Zhou Yi smiled, touched by the warmth. I truly appreciate the kindness, leader. It's very heartwarming. Then he turned to his squad. Besides, I'm never actually alone. Lin Gong grumbled about the wait, while Taishin gave a quick report. Hey, big bro. You, the headmaster, mentioned you were in trouble. So he basically gift-wrapped the 3 of us to help you out. The team was solid a level 23 Taoist mage and warrior. Looking them over, Zhou Ai was amazed at their progress. 2 months and you've all leveled up like crazy. The team grinned proudly. We have to keep up so we don't hold our leader back. Holland gave Lin Hai a playful, mischievous little nudge. During the trip, Lin Hai kept asking for ice magic tips. So why are you acting all shy now that he's here? Lin Hai fidgeted bashfully, looking absolutely adorable. Brother Yi, amidst the greenery, Chun Yi greeted them with a gentle, polite smile. He urged everyone forward. This is an emergency, so let's chat on the move. Just like that, the whole crew followed his lead. Watching the noisy group, an old man leaned on his wooden cane. His gaze softened as Chun Yi's lively squad headed out. he whispered. Chunyi, you're just like your ancestor. The group kept babbling. Should I pack snacks? Is the mountain freezing? I've got cute boots perfect for the snow. This young master fears no frost. Our family is basically built with cold resistance. Meanwhile, Chunyi walked along lost in his thoughts. Feeling like a total third wheel, his expression suddenly turned sharp and serious. In the past, I definitely would have tackled this mission solo. As he pondered, a glowing system map revealed the path ahead. The valley's dark energy doesn't bother me. If things got dicey, I could always use the Void Beast to escape. Easy peasy. He recalled holding the girl after defeating Madame Hong. Outside of daily quests, the leveling system had been quiet for a while, but this new prompt felt like a mandatory quest. It was totally cramping my solo player vibes. Then a golden screen appeared. System alert. A new timed mission is now active. Team up to reveal the Double M Guild secrets. Rewards await. Each member earns 1 S+ rank skill book. Gasping Chungi sprawled on the tiles in just his boxers. Oh my. The strongest support system panel pulsed before him. Surely it wouldn't offer a useless quest this time, right? It appears the true goal is cooperation. Memories of his battered friends suddenly flickered through his mind, pulling at his heartstrings. I thought my power alone could protect everyone, but strength isn't everything. A sharp, determined glint lit up his eyes. Madame Hong proved even the mightiest lion needs rest. If left alone, even stray dogs try to bite. How rude. Tat Tam's shout broke his trance. Hey, let's move before nightfall, he yelled, noticing Chungi's dazed expression. Sun Yan approached. Chungi, are you okay? He sighed. I'm fine, let's move. He commanded, heading toward the teleportation circle. Just before the door shut, one friend chimed in. About time, followed by, wait, aren't we eating lunch? First, I'm starving. The team walked on, smiling back at him. He felt so proud of the brave and passionate Tat Tam. What a guy. Tong Halan was flashy, yet meticulous. Then there was tough Thin Fong and shy, resilient Duang Lin. Hello there. Gentle Tunin rounds them out perfectly. My team is my strength. One day later, the scenery changed to a winter wonderland. Snowy mountains stood in stark contrast to a strange crimson mist. Welcome to the infamous Black Wind Valley. Every year, the valley vanishes under snow and thick, blood-red fog. Very few survivors ever return from this place. An armored jeep sped through the deep snow. Strangely, the Merchant Guild's secret hideout sat there completely unguarded. How suspicious. It seemed Lu Tuyen didn't fear anyone discovering the valley's secrets. Bundled in heavy coats, Chungi's squad huddled close together. Sun Yan noted that standard maps are useless here. The internal blueprints remain a total mystery. Time for some detective work. He coolly tucked his hands into his pockets. As expected, Chungi summoned a glowing blue butterfly. Locate Wahara. A panel appeared. This skill uses mana to guide a void butterfly's circle. It precisely marks spatial coordinates with amazing accuracy. Then the beast senses the spot and tears open reality to warp instantly. Now that's what I call high-level traveling. Tat Tam blew hot breath into his freezing hands. This wind feels like thousands of biting needles. It's super chilly out here. Chungi agreed. It was thrice as cold as the abyss. He cast his skills, wrapping everyone in a warm golden glow. Blessing of courage. Weapons blessing. Dawn's light and protection. He issued a polite but firm warning to the team. Stay sharp, everyone, Ling Fong exclaimed, basking in his new golden glow. This first buff felt absolutely amazing. Those legends were true. His system window sparkled. Name, Shen Ling Fong. Class level 22, Berserker. Look at those stats. Strength and agility jumped with 30% boosts. Even his intelligence got a bonus. While the others chatted, his power level hit the roof. Time to take this strength for a spin. Eerie threads crept through the snow, suddenly snatching Ling Shi. She dangled there, crying for help. Ling Fong turned confused, but Chu Yi already leaped, catching Ling Shi in a perfectly heroic embrace. One golden slash, and the threads vanished. He landed softly, carrying her like a dashing storybook prince. Thanks, big brother Yi. Ling Shi blushed. Ling Fong, meanwhile, stared suspiciously at the wiggling cliffside threads. Are these Madame Hong's creepy strings? Chu Yi's face went grim as he stepped toward the mystery. He zapped a thread with spiritual energy. The strands recoiled like they'd been hit by real lightning. Not strings, tentacles, Chu Yi realized. Halan, use your spirit arts to see behind that wall. Halan floated up, light as air. Golden talismans began a graceful dance around her as she began. Heaven and earth lend me strength. She focused politely as the talismans shot forward like arrows. A golden pattern formed. Reveal your secret zone. A small cyclone swirled beneath her magic. The team watched breathless. A terrifying thought crossed their minds. Could this entire mountain be alive? The illusion shattered. A massive heap of eyes and tentacles appeared. What kind of monster is this? A tentacle drill aimed right for Halen unfazed. She quickly drew a glowing protective seal. Thunder shield me. A massive golden barrier appeared, just barely stopping the heavy spinning strike. It was her signature move, the evil suppressing seal. But strange oily spots began devouring her defense. The seal vanished. Halen zipped through the air, narrowly avoiding those relentless, slimy lunges. This monster was a nightmare. Its slime was actually drinking her spiritual energy right out of her. As the writhing mass surrounded them, Ling Fong's temper flared. He was absolutely boiling with rage. Fireball time. His hair turned to literal flames as his berserker mode kicked in. Ugh, so gross. He unleashed a blazing wave, but the tentacles didn't care. They just kept wiggling toward them. Ling Fong looked truly annoyed. Suddenly, weird puppets and extra eyes started popping out of the mass. Creepy shadows boxed them in, wrapped in vines. Those glowing white eyes were the only things visible. They looked totally soulless. Thetem cracked her knuckles, wearing a cheerful grin. Finally, some fun. Suren gripped her blade. Suddenly, Chuyi's system screen flashed with some truly legendary talents. Divine talent. S+. Please stay back, he said politely. I'll handle these guests myself. He charged like a whirlwind, slicing through the shadows. Politely, he didn't even give them time to blink. Chuyi cracked the code. Magic weapons failed, but good old physical strikes did the job perfectly. He called to Thetem and Suran, quickly assigning them their new roles for the coming clash. Thetem, break the front Su. Ran, take the rear triangle formation. Everyone, let's push through. The Tom was pumped. Stay inside the light barrier and stay safe, please. Chuyi reminded the others. Hey, don't forget me. Ling Fong pouted. I'm a berserker. I'm way more than just a fire guy. He summoned a sparking red spear and grinned. Chuyi turned to the girls with a calm plan. Ling Fong's with us. You two find their weaknesses. The girls nodded with very polite, determined smiles. With a cheerful, got it, Ling Fong leaped forward, golden rings glowing as he joined the fray. Thetem leaped, high axe raised. Mountain cleaving strike, she yelled, aiming for the monster's eye. The vines melted on impact. She laughed happily, while the rest of the team started dominating. He turned monsters into kebabs. How's that for power? He yelled with a grin. Suren sliced them in half effortlessly, while Chuyi's glowing sword made the rest vanish. They fought hard, but Chuyi noticed something troubling. The black tentacles just wouldn't stop coming. For every monster they took down, a new one sprouted from the mountain. It was endless. Suddenly a dark blur zipped past. Ling Shi froze. It was coming for her. Ling Shi waved to the busy Zhou Yi. Big brother Yi. She chirped proudly, revealing her new token. Brother Yi, check this out. I found a monster drop. It's a Tianlan family crest. Halen found notes, too. He studied the items, calmly analyzing the mess. Scavengers must have swarmed to grab whatever the locals dropped. These silver threads don't just drain mana. I'm afraid they have a taste for human life force, too. Eventually, they even warped the victim's bones. Realizing the danger, he drew his blade and took a stance. The thread source is inside the mountain. Every monster is tethered. Zhou Yi swung his sword with power. Instead of fighting monsters, I'll just cut their leashes. Following his blade, the ground split apart. Let's see what's hiding in there. The ancient stone slabs began crumbling in a heart-pounding instant. Zhou Yi's team stayed safe behind a barrier. As the dust settled, Ling Fang and Taishin stood there completely stunned. She gasped in surprise, her jaw hitting the floor in total shock. As smoke vanished, skeletons littered the ground. Massive ice blocks rose up, reflecting their bewildered, polite faces. Taishin lowered her weapon, wondering if it was a dream. Zhou Yi stepped forward, his reflection shimmering. It's no illusion, he remarked, eyeing the ice. It's a clever camouflage for a secret dungeon entrance. Zhou Yi explained, Blackwind Valley isn't a mountain. It's a massive hidden dungeon that merged with Blue Star. The merger was so perfect that nobody suspected. Everyone listened politely as Zhou Yi shared his expert analysis. Actually, Luan found this secret first. The guild left it unguarded since the dungeon defends itself. It simply turns any intruder into some crunchy snacks. Ling Fong scoffed, Psh, just some cheap little parlor tricks. Ling's eyes widened. So those monsters were explorers. Zhou Yi didn't deny it, giving a knowing, polite nod. He touched the frost. The mountain is the first boss. Once explorers perish, they become part of it. A soft light glowed. Get ready, everyone, he warned. The guardian of the second gate is finally waking up. The barrier shattered beautifully as the team rallied. Ling Fong shouted, Stay sharp, watch for sneak attacks. Ling Shi, boost our defenses. Don't let them catch us slipping. On it, she chirped, readying her magic. She replied as mirrors reflected their tired faces. Zhou Yi peered ahead, looking a bit worried about the fog. A mysterious shadow drifted from the thick mist. Elsewhere, our sweet Ling Shi found herself lost in a forest. "Where is everyone?" she called out, feeling lost. She gripped her scepter tightly, scanning the dark trees carefully. Next we see Lin Fong. Shirtless and cranky, he growled at the absolutely hideous beast in his way. Now for Halen. She hid behind a pillar, chanting softly, while activating a massive glowing talisman. "Heaven and earth, energy, help!" Chu Ran stood ready, his sword gleaming with newfound power. Meanwhile, Tai Shin swung her axe. "Mountain-shattering strike, go!" A perfect clone appeared and blocked her attack. The ground shattered. She wasn't happy at all. "A copycat. This fake even mimics my legendary strength." Rude. The clone stared back with hollow eyes echoing her. "A copycat. This fake even mimics my legendary strength." She looked totally grossed out. This is beyond creepy. She yanked her axe back from her eerie twin. She threw a heavy punch, but the clone blocked. Then she landed a sneaky kick, catching it off guard. The copy was sent flying. It crashed into the graves, smashing them into a million tiny pieces. Tai Shin scoffed, "You silly little copycat fooled by a feint." The clone just repeated her robotically. "Can't even recognize a simple feint, huh?" She crossed her arms, looking like a very disappointed big sister. "It only mimics moves and has zero actual brains." Suddenly, the entire ground began to rumble and shake. She took a defensive stance, shielding her face. The clone lunged, but she realized it was actually leveling up. She had to end this. Over at Lin Fong's spot, a blinding light hit the ground with power. Lin Fong's dragon arm held strong. He just smirked. "Done learning. Welcome to my fiery dragon domain, friend." The clone lunged, but Lin Fong leaped back. His weapon blazed with a fierce and cheerful fire. "I'll show you the real difference between us." He unleashed a slash, but the clone was lightning fast. The clone copied his spear, making him chuckle. Fast copy-paste, he advanced with his fiery drill spear. "If you want my moves, here's a lesson." The drill roared to life. "Sky-burning strike, go." The spears clashed in a beautiful flash. The ground crumbled, but Lin Fong skillfully avoided the counterattack. Our hero tightened his grip, channeling his inner aura for a legendary strike. Using his speed, he spun his spear into a blazing wall. The fake prodded the flames, searching for a gap. The imposter slipped through the fire with a stone-cold face. Suddenly, a sharp tip bit deep into Lin Fong's chest. "Ouch!" Glowing brightly, Lin Fong grinned. "Mimicry is child's play, but you can't contain the dragon's fire burning in my soul." Shrugging off the pain, he grabbed the blade lodged in his ribs. The copy just stared, looking as bored as a statue. Lin Fong shouted, "You brainless puppet!" Suddenly, a shimmering golden dragon spiraled into existence right behind him. He looked like a god about to punish a naughty child. "Bye-bye." Nearby, deadly paper talismans whistled through the air. Boom! A giant explosion filled the air with smoke. Despite her wounds, Sweet Halen was hiding a secret trump card. She scanned the mist until 3 charms zipped toward her face. She jumped back just before they went bang. The fake appeared, and Halen gave a cheeky little giggle. "I expected skill, but you're using those charms totally wrong." Halan bit her thumb, drawing a little blood. "True magic needs the divine essence of heaven and earth, you know. You have no soul." Shimmering raindrops hovered around her. "Behold the elements born from a pure, honest heart." Focusing hard, she traced a golden path in the air. "The heart is everything. True power is just a bonus." She shouted, "Nature won't listen to a puppet. No matter what you copy, your skills are just empty shells." Rain lashed out as the fake tried to mimic her, but gross, slimy tentacles sprouted out instead. Yuck. The copy's eyes widened. "Impossible!" Its body shattered as those weird tentacles burst out in a messy explosion. Just a short distance away, wounded Lin Hai rested against a giant old tree. Her double smirked behind a shield. "Give up, little sister. Even as a copy, I'm just way out of your league." Lin Hai held her staff tight. "I'm not struggling," she thought. "I'm just waiting for you to mess up." Only 10 minutes passed, and you've already leveled up from basic mimicry to advanced combat. Impressive. You're even setting traps now. You're growing fast, but every dungeon boss has a secret weak point. The double lunged again, but Lin Hai dodged with style. The copy giggled. "Still playing tag, are we?" It tossed ice shards, teasing, "Come here, sister. Join me." Lin Hai inspected the frost, but found no real soul. Suddenly, she understood everything. As the smug double approached, Lin Hai just gave a polite little chuckle. "I figured it out. No simple skill can fake decades of hard-earned leveling and cultivation right. You copied my face, but you totally missed the soul of my magic." The bleeding clone winced. "What do you mean?" Lin Hai touched a tree, lighting it up with green energy. "Shall we talk about your clumsy ice magic, dear?" Newbies make snowballs, but masters make needles. Your spells don't even have proper runes. How very rude of you. It just shows you're a bit shallow, darling. She tapped her staff on the ground with a gentle thud. Light exploded from the dirt. Real mastery can't be faked. Sharp ice spikes shot up, aiming right for the fake's face. An archmage makes the elements sing. Lin Hai cheered. The clone's jaw dropped as she watched the beautiful display. Magic circles lit up the whole field. Lin Hai whispered, "Magic isn't some basic one-size-fits-all skill, you know. It's about understanding. Maybe in 100 years you'd get it." A blinding light swallowed the entire forest clearing. "Time's up." The fake turned into stardust. Meanwhile, Chu Yi was busy clashing with his own pesky shadow self. Holy storm. Blades collided with a loud boom. Golden sparks flew as their swords crossed once again in the smoke. Chu Yi smiled. His twin mimicked his move 0.5 seconds later. It was almost a perfect power match. Wow, this simulation is leveling up. The copy wasn't just a robot anymore, it was actually getting quite creative. It was hunting for his weak spots as they traded blows. Chu Yi's eyes sparkled. He lunged forward again. This was the perfect sparring partner. He couldn't waste this chance. Their twin auras clashed beautifully in midair. Wait, the system was 0.5 seconds slower now. Is it lagging? Merging elements caused a major delay. Is your brain getting overloaded with data? Chu Yi smirked, staring coldly at his own mirror image. The fake sheathed its sword. Our hero tilted his head. You're getting so boring. You act just like a machine. What's the plan? The copy just stared blankly. Suddenly, a creepy, wide grin stretched across the fake's face. I just want to test this new body. The clone laughed. I know every single move you've got. You can't win, it teased. Chu Yi chuckled. Back home, we have a saying. Shimmering golden threads began weaving. Chu Yi chuckled. Empty threats always leave a bad taste, don't they? Suddenly, a massive crater opened right in the dark clone's midsection. As the duplicate crumbled, Chu Yi smiled warmly. I figured out your little trick. This mirror has been trying to level up by copying me. Every time the glass glowed, you paused to download my data. You were just staring at me through that window the whole time. All those flashy moves were just a way to distract from the lag. He offered a polite reminder. A copy can never outplay the original. I know your entire skill set. Lin Hai stood there totally floored. Chu Yi walked out of the smoke, and Lin Hai cheered. Welcome back. Lin Hai was in a panic. No time for tea. We have to rescue Ran immediately. Is our friend okay? Chu Yi asked. Meanwhile, Ran battled herself. Her shadow self smirked while Ran tried to stay calm. The clone teased, Are you still scared of your own secret power awakening? How polite. And they actually call you a genius. Ran's patience was wearing thin. The dark spirit inside is trying to break its level cap, a voice echoed. Focus, Ran, she whispered softly. I will not let this darkness win. But the voice was persistent. That next attack is unavoidable. Ran gritted her teeth, trying to stay centered. She had to stay professional for the sake of the team. The voice kept whispering, Stand up and show them your true legendary potential. Chu Yi will think you're just a weakling. The voice was so tempting. I am your ultimate form. Ran yelled, Be quiet. I'm in charge. My destiny is mine to control. The clone lunged with a blade. Then stop holding back, unless you're too scared of your own bloodline. A massive strike came down, but Ran dodged with a graceful leap. Way too slow, the clone joked, keeping the pressure at max level. Our power difference is like a level 1 versus a level 100. The clone grinned, poking at all of Ran's hidden insecurities. You're so worried about Chu Yi's opinion that you're losing the fight. A sharp blade whistled through the air toward her. Ran slipped away again. No matter how high your magic stats are, if you're too afraid of your gift, you're just an average player. The clone kept pushing. Oh, I almost forgot something important. Chu Yi thinks kindness is a strength, doesn't he? She laughed. But look at you getting crushed because you are being way too nice. Will he even remember you later? Ran whispered, I am not weak. That inner voice started acting up inside her head again. See, this is what happens when you hide me. Let's show her, does she think she's special with a little demonic energy? I could easily protect him if you'd just let me loose. Ling Shi told Chu Yi, once these fakes vanish, the stage resets. These mirrors are broadcasting everyone's boss fights. Big Sis Chuan is usually our MVP. So why is this clone out-leveling her? Xiaolin explained the mechanics of this mirror realm. The longer this event lasts, the smarter and stronger these clones become. Our sister's in a tough spot, leaving Ling Fang totally confused. He couldn't hear the dialogue, but the boss fight vibes were terrifying. Why isn't she using her special bloodline? Joy understood. Xiaolin was stuck in a mental duel with her own inner shadows. It wasn't about power levels. She was just afraid of her own potential. She's terrified that her legendary gift might turn into a curse. That clone has a massive advantage. It has 0 manners. It can just unleash every drop of power without any hesitation or fear. Ling Gong hit the glass. We need to let her unleash her inner beast. No more being polite. Taishan asked, Brother Yi, what's the plan? Can we just break it? Zhao Yi worried the mirror was synced to her soul. If we smash it too fast, her mind might take damage. He stepped up, declaring that being polite wouldn't finish this quest. I'll have to force the issue. Joy told everyone to stand back. Then he began a spectacular transformation to break the seal. The glass shattered easily, leaving Ling Shi and the others totally speechless. Brother Yi is literally hacking the energy node of that clone. He's breaking the entire game world just to save our big sister. The demon pinned Chu Ran down, acting like a typical bully. Look at how pathetic you are. Chu Ran could only manage a cough. Suddenly, a friendly light twinkled like a falling star. It shot forward with incredible speed, and the demon was instantly deleted. Chu Ran blinked, feeling like a dizzy level 1 rookie. Zhou Yi was standing right there, having entered her personal instance. He offered a polite smile and said, Please don't be afraid, I've got you. Hearing that Chu Ran pouted, looking a little upset. Suddenly, the world around them started to crack like a broken screen. Chu Ran's eyes went wide. This wasn't in the original plan. She grabbed her sword and smashed through the barriers, but as soon as she was free, she swung her blade right at Zhou Yi. He was totally confused and called out her name. To prevent any friendly fire, Zhou Yi simply raised a hand to parry the strike. Even with a gentle block, Chu Ran was tossed back like a kite in the wind. The rest of the party just watched speechless. Chu Ran landed, with a thud making a small crater. Joy was worried. Wait, is my holy light burning her? Her resistance should be high. Still determined, Chuan charged in for another round. Zhao Yi used a bit of light to defend, but quickly stopped. He realized his high-level skills were actually hurting her. He swapped to a gentle green mist that wrapped her hands like soft ribbons. The smoke tendrils politely bound her legs so she couldn't move. Just like that, our energetic Chu Ran was safely and gently caught. Protecting her requires a gentle touch. Chu Yi leaned closer, whispering, Xia, look only at me. Right then, their surroundings began to melt away. The team watched in total confusion as floating debris gathered together. Slowly, the fragments merged to form a mysterious, unknown face. A grumpy, booming voice suddenly thundered through the air. Rule breakers commencing the ultimate cleanup. It was the level 20 spider boss. This beast boasts epic tier potential. It uses tricky skills like sticky thread spit and elusive shadow clones to overwhelm its prey. A level 30 Rockfire soldier with gold potential appeared using Magma Crash. A level 34 Bone Vine Puppet joined the fight as well. Not to be outdone, a level 23 Bone Warrior charged in, ready to unleash its epic Shattering Cleave ability. Next appeared the level 33 Corrosive Water Monster. This gold tier threat is a master of acid spit and rapid regeneration. Ling Shi dove into the fray with a cheerful grin, her blade carved through enemies effortlessly, but wait, the monsters began stitching themselves back together. They're fusing, Ling Shi yelled. Silver threads are acting like magical stitches. Chu Yi raised a talisman, politely calling upon the fire spirits. Shatter this illusion. Spirit-bursting talisman, do your thing. Instantly, a warm, purifying fire engulfed the entire monster horde. Taishan dashed ahead, delivering a polite but firm bonk to an enemy's head with her massive, heavy axe. She then hurled her axe, watching it slice through the crowd like a giant arrow. Ling Gong just smirked politely, snatching a monster barehanded. Chui noticed a hidden puppeteer behind the scenes. He glanced at Swan. This dungeon's logic is clear. It only wants the strongest survivors. Anyone who fails the test ends up as a silver-threaded puppet destined to perform on this twisted stage forever. Despite the main character destroying the second gate's energy node, poor Xiaoan is still struggling to break free from her individual trial. Countless silver threads are binding her. With her charm demon bloodline acting up, the system saw a perfect chance to stir up chaos. That's how the threads hijacked her mind. Plus, the mastermind behind this mess obviously considers Chu Yi to be the primary threat. They're treating him like the stage's final boss gathering his strength. Chu Yi focused on exposing the person pulling everyone's strings. Psychic bosses usually stay hidden, but to save Xiaoan, our hero will just have to force the leader into the open. He looked at Swan, whispering softly, "Sorry, Xiaoan. The next few seconds might make you a little bit grumpy, I'm afraid." Stone walls plummeted from above, snapping together instantly. In a flash, they formed a cozy, protective little box around her. Standing guard Chu Yi kept a polite, watchful eye on the box. "Helan, please use a chill lock seal to stabilize her energy." Helan grabbed 3 talismans ready to follow the plan perfectly. Even the universe has rules, and natural energy always finds its rightful place. Drive back the darkness, calm the inner storm. 3 talismans whirled around her, creating a sacred divine boundary to keep her safe. Stay still, everyone, Lingzi cried out through the chaos. Chuyi, there are just too many of them. We're being totally overrun. Even Ling felt the mounting pressure. As their numbers swelled, he realized the monsters were actually eating each other to level up. Chuyi sighed. Clearing a dungeon that spawns everything at once is tough. A direct frontal assault would likely be a mistake. We'd run out of energy in 30 minutes. I'd be stuck just defending. Taking a deep breath, our hero made his decision. Closing his eyes, he summoned a whirlpool of power. No more holding back. He needed his ultimate move. Chuyi gave a warning. Everyone, please back up, raise your strongest shields, and keep your eyes open, no matter what you're about to see next. The team shouted their agreement. Ling Fang added with a brave grin, Don't worry about us. Just show us something absolutely amazing. Suddenly, a blinding pillar of light swallowed Chuyi. From her box, Swan watched as his incredible aura expanded further and further. The monsters froze in terror as their bodies began to dissolve. Their shells melted, revealing those strange, shimmering silver threads underneath them. Taishin gasped, What are those things? They weren't dying. They were all merging together into one massive, terrifying super boss monster. Is the dungeon force evolving its monsters? Ling Shi felt the danger. This new energy is double everything they've faced combined. Chu Wai exhaled slowly. Suddenly, the sky cracked open with heavenly light. High-rank skill, Summon of the Gods, level 1. Giant white wings unfurled across the sky. A silver-clad warrior appeared, aiming a divine bow straight at the monstrous beast. An army of silver knights stood behind Chuyi. Lingong's jaw dropped. Can that young man really summon legendary allies of this rank? Taishin wondered if this was a high-level Holy Knight's true power. Ling Shi shivered. That amount of spiritual pressure felt absolutely unreal. The dungeon's chaotic air seemed to freeze in place. Despite the pressure, the giant monster let out a defiant, earth-shaking roar. Chuyi gritted his teeth. This angelic summon is only temporary, and he's already burned 30% of his life force. Every second drains his mental energy. He can't last forever. Man, after this, I really need to go grind some more levels. I need to lower this mana cost, he finally commanded. Holy Knights engage, eliminate them. A storm of glowing arrows appeared. Every arrow zoomed toward the giant monster. It tried to block, but the sheer power of the summons was just too much. The divine beam didn't stop until everything in its path vanished. It just kept blasting. Ling Shi whispered, That power is incredible. This energy surge is way more than the dungeon can handle, Shen fretted. Poor Yi was running on empty. High-rank summons really drain a person's mental battery, you know. Once the monster was finally out of the picture, Chuyi caught his breath and turned a curious eye toward Swan. My angel can finish the rest. I've only got eyes for one main objective. With that polite thought, he walked straight toward her. He radiated power and warned, I'm counting to 3. Scram or I'll level this whole zone. Swan bit her lip with a cold glare. Yi started the clock. 1, 2. Just as he reached the final count, a giant shadow swallowed the light behind Swan. Oh, look, the dungeon boss finally arrived. He joked, So you finally decided to join the party. But wait, seeing the boss's body covered in darkness, Chuyi put the pieces together. It had been corrupted by shadow creatures. A level 50 legendary corrupted heart eater, to be exact. Skills unknown. Yi gave it a stern look. The heart eater scanned him curiously. Well, aren't you a fascinating surprise? It hissed. Of all the intruders I've met, you're the youngest powerhouse yet. In fact, your aura is even stronger than those grumpy old masters. The monster kept busy playing puppeteer with Suran using silver threads. Chuyi grit his teeth and covered his eyes in sheer frustration. The heart eater leaned in closer. Hey now, no need to be so tense. I didn't come for a brawl. It gestured behind itself and smiled. Actually, I'd like to offer a little deal. Yi's eyes went wide. He stared in disbelief as a mountain of treasures suddenly appeared. A purification crystal, glowing with pure, holy cleansing energy. It can wash away any nasty curses instantly. Next was the mind-calming jade to keep those wild bloodlines stable and happy. The Crimson Dragon. Crystal is packed with spicy fire energy for weapons. It boosts attacks with an extra 50% fire damage. How nice. The Mystic Iron Star Core was next on the shopping list. A heavy ore that vibrates with spatial waves, perfect for teleporters, and cutting skill cooldowns by 15%. The Spirit Jade is full of life energy. For all you healers out there, the effect is totally doubled. The massive shield wall scroll summons a protective dome on command. It covers 10 meters and lasts for a solid 10 seconds. The no weakness scroll lets you see enemy stats for 1 hour. Lingzi was practically jumping with excitement over the loot. That dragon crystal would look amazing on our gear, she cheered. Imagine knocking these monsters into dust with one punch. He was thrilled. A healer's dream and perfect defense. What a generous offer. Chuyi pondered. That star of purification could fix his family's curse. He was feeling tempted, but that serene night liquid was for Sun Yan's sake. Just look at how much pain she's suffering, the Heart Eater whispered softly. One drop of this liquid and she'll sleep soundly without any trouble. The creature kept trying to sweet-talk our hero. This is just a snack. Come closer, dear. You cleared the trial. Here is your prize. Take your loot and go. But Chuyi knew better. You're baiting me. I could just walk away right now. But then he remembered those wild battles with friends to expose the merchant guild. Chuyi spoke to the heart directly. Nice loot, but you've totally missed the point. He gripped his sword and took a polite slice. I didn't come here just for shiny rewards. The quest, the revenge, and my family curse and won't be solved by handouts. The monster gasped. You're seriously dumping a free reward like that. Chuyi stood firm. You know my secrets. This is obviously a trap made just for me. Chu's body glowed during his legendary transformation. Serene Heart Knight, I'm taking you all on. Then he politely declared, you're going down. Using Dragon God's dominion, he sliced it deep. Suddenly the floor started breaking into pieces. A giant rock golem rose from the dirt. It said absolutely nothing. The beast punched the ground, causing tremors. Everything collapsed, but Chuyi jumped to safety. But as he looked over, poor Swan was falling straight down. Oh dear. Swan screamed and our hero lost his cool. He dove to save her, but his hands grabbed only air. He knew exactly what was happening. Trying to trick me with an illusion, huh? Annoyed, Chuyi attacked, but it didn't care. It just laughed. Is that all you've got? Chuyi smirked. Why don't we find out together? The monster charged up a flashy lightning strike. I was going to be on my best behavior today, but you're just too stubborn to walk away. Faces flashed through its mind. Deletion complete. I've learned your moves. Now fight them. With one snap, the images shattered like glass. Then it saw Chuyi's real squad appear. Who said I was fighting alone? A massive blue dragon appeared right behind him. Arrows flew while Bonefang charged in to help. They all attacked that shadowy beast together. Poof! It's vanishing into a cloud of smoke and dust. Look, its body is totally fading away, but wait. A massive explosion just rocked everything, turning those big rocks into tiny pebbles. All of a sudden, a thick dust cloud made it super hard to see. Then some weird glass shards popped up, giving Chuyi quite a shock. These mirror bits are sticking around. Looking closely at one shiny shard, Chuyi sees a man on his knees. Hey, that guy in the reflection looks really familiar to him, doesn't he? When he reached out, a wave of sparkly gold energy just swallowed him whole. Rewind time. 10 years back in the spooky Blackwind Valley, a man bowed to a dark shadow. Some icky black tentacles wrapped around the poor fellow as a creepy voice spoke up. So you're looking to save your daughter? The scared man managed a polite nod and an answer. The priest says she won't make it until spring without that 1,000-year mystic ice jade. I've certainly heard some wild tales about you down at the local black market. I've traveled quite a long way just to ask for your lovely blessing. The monster seemed tickled pink. Blessing. Oh, what a delightful word that is. I can provide piles of gold, but I'll need 3 little favors first. The man squeezed his shaky hands and politely asked, and what might those be? Suddenly, it started raining jewels. Now that is a flashy way to make a request. Use all this shiny wealth to bring folks over to Blackwind Valley. I just need a bit of life force from the weak for, well, a snack. The strong ones can stay and be my new guards. The man's eyes went wide with shock. Wait, you're actually going to end them. The monster laughed right in his face. How spooky. Oh, don't be such a party pooper, friend. They're coming here on their own, right? Honestly, who can say no to becoming wealthy in a single night? Stuck in a tough spot with no options, he told his buddy he found rare mystic stones in the valley. He even claimed one tiny bit was worth 1,000 high-grade spirit stones. His friend was a bit doubtful. Are you pulling my leg? Isn't that where people go in and just, poof, disappear forever? Old Wang took a whole crew in last year and they never returned. But the man had a quick answer. That's only because they took the wrong turn. I found the jackpot, but I need some extra muscle. Come work for me. I'll give you a 30% cut of the loot. Simple as that. Before long, the body count started climbing. The poor fellow felt totally sick and started crying tears of regret. This is just a terrible thing I've done, but is it really a sin when greed brought them here? The monster didn't see any issue. Why do you think they even showed up? Jean Hitidadias. To help you. No way they just want to climb over bodies to get rich. Sadly, he didn't stop. He just kept on luring more people in. Elder fun. We can talk about the price. Just help me get the word out. Soon, total chaos broke out at his house. Boss, what's going on? The North City Guild says if we don't give them 80% of the profit, they'll shut us down. We need someone powerful to help us out. Those bullies could easily wipe us out. The man was steaming mad. This just made him more ruthless, and he started ignoring all the desperate pleas. Boss Lou, I was a total fool. Please let me go. In this guild, Boss Lou, your every word is now the absolute law. I'll do anything, just please spare me from those scary screams. Slowly, his guilty feelings just drifted away into the wind. Facing the beast, fear left Lord Lou's face. He shared his big idea. I'm going to start a merchant syndicate. Legally, we'll just be mining and selling regular iron. But secretly, it's the perfect way to find new candidates for the valley. Of course, the big monster didn't mind. Fine, what are we calling it? He picked the enchanting siren. The monster wondered why he chose such a fancy name. Lou replied quickly, I actually met real sirens out at sea once. They looked like goddesses and sang with heavenly voices, but they lured men down deep and wrecked their huge ships. Back then, I only survived by holding onto the deck for dear life. After the story, the creature spat out a bone. That name fits perfectly. Soon business was booming. Boss, here is the official report for the month. We have crystals for the Chu family's tribute, plus 17 fresh, nutrient-rich bodies ready for the valley's harvest. Lou took the list, looking pretty happy with the results. This batch of nutrients is unfortunately a little lacking this time. Please ask Madame Hong to be a bit more selective next time. His assistant bowed politely. Yes, sir. But Lou wasn't done yet. Also, let's politely raise the prices by 2% this year. Chu Yi felt it all. The whole situation seemed incredibly strange to him. These shards clearly recorded everything from the past 10 years, the shimmering pieces gathered in a swirling vortex right in Chu's palm. Soon, a purple stone popped up. The blue dragon said, Behold the dungeon core. Owning this means you're now the boss of the whole dungeon. Even medium guilds rarely have their own private dungeon. Now it belongs to you. The rewards for this are absolutely massive. By getting the Mirror Prison's core, you have 30% control and can rewrite the rules. From now on, resource shortages are history. This dungeon is basically a giant money-making machine. You're quite lucky. Now use your spirit to feel the connection. Hearing that Chu Yi focused as glowing power rings surrounded him in a truly spectacular sight. Nearby Ling Shi, while helping Chuan, felt the massive surge of all that energy. The rings grew as Chu Yi concentrated even harder. I can see every single blade of grass without even using my eyes. I can truly control everything in this dungeon. Just as his power peaked, a small figure suddenly popped up nearby. Chu Ai squeezed his eyes shut, lost in deep thought. Suddenly his sister, Chu Yun, appeared right there. Wait, why are you here? Chu Yun looked up and spoke softly. Brother, I was so worried I used an online guide to find you. Chu Yi felt totally helpless. You actually came. Seeing his grumpy face, Chu Yun offered a cute apology. I'm so sorry. Suya enjoyed the little family drama. This girl has serious guts and her luck is impressive too. Since you've cleared this dungeon, she'll be perfectly safe staying here with us. Defeated, he gave a stern warning. Behave or you're going straight back home. Just then, a bright system notification suddenly popped up. Quest complete. You have successfully uncovered the M Guild's dark secrets. Quest reward earned. Every participating member will now receive 1 legendary S-rank skill book. Status finished. The system is distributing high-level rewards to your party. Chu Yi's friends were floored to see Chu Yun. What are you doing here? Shen Lingfang gave her a gentle scold. Hey, this place is way too dangerous, not a playground, kid. Chu Yi quickly interrupted his rant. Chu Yi tossed him a notification while nudging his sister forward. Shen Lingfang, do me a favor and keep an eye on my sister. He caught it with a confident grin. Heh, you don't even have to ask. Wait, what's this? Before he could explain, the skill info flashed. Rage of the Bloodthirsty Level 1. S-rank. It harvests life force to create deadly blood beads, triggering a massive crimson explosion. Shen Lingfang stared at the item, practically losing his mind with excitement. An actual S-rank skill book. Are you for real right now? Helan stood nearby, equally shocked by the incredible news. What? Chu Yi handed her another tome. Don't worry, I have them for everyone. Helan stared at the book, disbelieving her luck. Is this truly an S-rank? Ling Shi was confused. Why give us something so incredibly precious? That same question burned in Helan's mind. Brother Yi, do you have any idea how much this is actually worth? One of these sells for 7 million on the black market. Chu Yi acted like it was no big deal at all, remaining totally unfazed. It's just a hidden reward for clearing the dungeon based on our classes. Shen Lingfang blinked blankly. And you're just giving them away? My family only owns 3 S-rank books. Total. Helam felt it was too much. This is way too valuable for us. We only helped with minor things. How can we accept this? It was a devastatingly powerful item called the 3 Absolutes Formation. S-rank level 1. It traps enemies in a cursed field, instantly cutting their max health in half. Chu Yi smiled, urging her to accept. We cleared this as a team, didn't we? We're a unit. I can't take all the credit. Ling Shi still felt she didn't deserve it. But the value is astronomical. You could make a literal fortune. The book in her hands was the legendary Elemental Forbidden Realm skill. Level 1, S-rank. It creates a zone that completely isolates all elemental energy. Crystals rain down, triggering a secondary blast with massive area damage. Upon hearing this, Chu Yi gently patted her head, smiling while asking if gold really outweighed her own life. Besides, the journey ahead will only get harder. I won't let you guys face danger without the proper equipment to survive. Meanwhile, Shen Lingfang happily accepted his gift, shouting about how cool it was. Next time I'm charging in first, no matter who we face. Chu Yi coughed awkwardly, while Tai Yixin hugged her manual, glowing with joy. My very first S-rank book, I am so excited. I'll be leading every dungeon raid now. Helan cheered excitedly. I'll master the 3 Absolutes Formation until it becomes my second nature. Ya di. Jesus. I won't be a burden. Ling Shi felt just as determined. Me too. Shen Lingfang boasted, eager to show off his new power. It siphons life energy from foes to create a devastating blast, isn't that wild? But Tai Yixin wasn't about to let him win. Okay, my skill deletes weaklings instantly, while yours needs to hunt for blood weak. She held the legendary level 1 S-rank earth-shattering wave. It strikes the ground to unleash a devastating seismic shockwave. Foes take continuous damage while the weak ones simply vanish instantly. Watching their playful, petty squabble, Chu Yi finally intervened. Okay, everyone, let's keep our focus and stay together now. Master your powers first, then we'll confront the powerful boss hiding deep inside. Shen Lingfang started bragging. Just watch me. I'll master this in 10 minutes flat. Tai Yixin mocked him. You're totally bluffing. I'll get the hang of mine in 5 minutes. Standing nearby, Helan joined the fun. We should probably get ready too. We can't let them win. Suddenly a hand tugged Chu Yi's sleeve. Suyan looked up with a radiant grin, praising her leader. You really have a talent for uniting everyone. Chu Yi chuckled shyly. It's just because we're teammates. Oh, I almost forgot this. He reached out and produced the fabled Serenity Elixir. This elixir calms wild bloodlines and stabilizes unusual constitutions. Your bloodline curse is too deep to fix today. Keep this safe just in case. Gazing directly into her eyes, he spoke with firm conviction. Little Nan, I'll move heaven and earth to ensure you never suffer again. Touched by his vow, tears began to flow down her cheeks uncontrollably. Chu Yi totally panicked. Wait, why the waterworks? Did I mess up? Did I say something wrong? To his surprise, she leaned against his heart, whispering that she truly trusted him. Meanwhile, researchers gathered at the guild's headquarters. A giant monolith in the center pulsed with an unsettling power. Lethal sparks flew toward the staff, yet they didn't even flinch. In fact, they kept creeping closer toward the pulsing energy. A worried worker turned to their leader. Boss, you need to see this. That mysterious gentleman kept his cool, totally unbothered by the decade-long link. Goodness, this was the same fellow Chu Yi saw with the Lord. It's a total fortress. Walking in is like offering yourself as monster snacks. Could something unexpected be happening? Suddenly his eyes widened, like a horror movie. A researcher hit the wall hard. Nearby folks tumbled and things got messy. Someone yelled, "We're cooked!" Luan saw the chaos and signaled his team immediately. Ask Madame Hong to fix this mess. The subordinate didn't dare speak up. On it, boss. Meanwhile, Madame Hong was having a really rough hair day. That awful holy night. If I hadn't bought that resurrection item, I'd be toast. Sadly, that item only mends the body, not my peak fighting power levels. I can barely control 10 corpses now. I'll need 6 months of rest. No one leaves. But then a new order arrived. Report on that energy. The news hit Madame Hong like a bolt of lightning. Return right now. In her state, that's impossible. Could our friend Chu Yi be responsible? Seeing him is a death sentence, but those guild vultures want my spot. They'll tear down my hard work. I've sacrificed too much to lose now. But she couldn't say no to Luan. Fuming, she forced herself to comply. Like a leaf in the wind, fate leads. Car please, Chu Yi's leveling. Strange info flooded his mind. The iron prison keeps that big creature locked. Find its secrets, find its weakness. One specific fragment really caught his eye. Full of curiosity, Chu Yi reached out. He felt like a ghostly pit. Chu Yi's image appeared. Inside the crystals, the world around him started swirling. Everything closed in. Our hero shuts his eyes, sweating, as a spooky aura appears. A shiny orb glows, while a dragon phantom wraps around it. Eyes snap open. Man, this info is cluttered. There's a weird firewall. Jade green light flared bright. He puts on his thinking cap, focusing mental energy to find a signal. Someone is tangled in tentacles. Not a great look. Creepy sacrifice memories surface. He spots a black hole gate sucking up boulders like a cosmic vacuum cleaner. Grumpy monsters are roaring and showing off teeth. A mountain of data rushes in. Total flashbang. Chu Yi wakes with a start gasping after that horror marathon. Cold sweat everywhere. He's clutching that stone. Swangya asks, "You okay, friend?" "Seen a ghost," Chu Yi mumbles. "That gateway. It finally makes total sense." No wonder Hansuar's energy felt familiar. Swangya's confused. "Spill the beans." "I met demons in a rift at Raging Wind Mountains. Perfect aura match. Demons inside that mirror." A giant toothy mouth flashes a nasty grin. "Yeah, and this mess is far worse than I ever could imagine. The mirror is a gateway world. It's downloading resources to our planet now. The guild is donating people as human batteries to jumpstart the main portal. Scary monsters are waiting for the dinner bell. It's a demon invasion highway." Swangya thinks it over. Getting cold feet. Chu Yi watches the gem. "Just being careful. Rushing in blind is a one-way ticket to trouble. The team hasn't mastered their new level-up buffs yet. They're definitely not ready. Blindly charging in isn't brave, it's just silly. We just need more grind time." Swangya nods. "Rule 1, don't get killed. So how do we train?" Chu Yi holds the gem up, a mischievous and sharp glint in his eyes. He gives a cheeky grin. "We can't just lounge about. This mirror is basically our own private fitness center, right?" Clever ideas flood his brain. "I will adjust the settings to summon some elite training targets. It is the ideal time to test our fancy S-rank abilities safely." He browses through more features. "Let us break our boundaries." Swangya laughs at the bold plan. How interesting. Chu Yi calls everyone for a major update. "Attention, everyone. We are pausing our dungeon raid for now." Lin Fong looks confused and asks why they are stopping. Chu Yi explains. "That boss ahead is quite dangerous. Safety comes first, friends. Charging in blindly would be a mess. Let us pivot our plan. We are visiting the training room before the big fight." Theodem leans back, looking totally baffled by the news. "Practice in this dark pit. Are we just lifting stones?" Lin Fong, however, is shaking with pure joy. His eyes glow as he cheers. It is time to level up. What is the workout? A clever vision appears. Imagine Chu Yi controlling the dungeon's power like a master. "I will create ghosts that match your current strength." The mission is easy. Stay alive in these intense simulations. Use this to master your amazing new skills. Lin Fong bounces with excitement. "Virtual combat. Sign me up immediately." "This is awesome. I am going in first." Lin Hai tries to intervene, noting his wounds are still fresh. Way too hyped. Lin Fong dismisses her concern. "It is only a tiny scratch. I am ready." Chu Yi remains focused. "Please listen, this is quite serious. You will feel the pain. I will raise the challenge as you get better. Prepare for many defeats." Lin Fong just looks more motivated. That sounds like the perfect challenge. Chu Yi sighs, happily pleased with their spirit. Honestly, they seem very eager to start this tough trial. Starting the grand plan, he calls forth energy, casting a golden sphere around Lin Fong. He waits calmly inside the light. Once the mist fades, Lin Fong appears inside a rocky cave. Out of nowhere, a masked warrior strikes from the dark with incredible swiftness. Feeling the threat, Lin Fong dodges like a nimble cat. Ding, a game menu appears before him. Enemy identified, level 35 Shadowhunter Gold tier. His hair blazes as his senses heighten. Large horns sprout from his brow. Using his beastly strength, Lin Fong hurls a fireball at the hidden foe. The attack hits, but the enemy disappears instantly. He dodged it. Lin Fong looks around, totally surprised by that trick. He launches a quick barrage. The enemy evades everything, leaving him dizzy. Realizing the danger, Lin Fong fights back with serious passion. A shadow user. Oh, how annoying. Suddenly steel nicks his skin. Lin Fong is shocked by the sheer speed. Why is he so fast? Lin Fong attacks, but the man glides away easily. Nearby, Chu Yi concentrates to keep the spell stable. He watches the duel intently, observing every single detail. I can actually change the environment and settings whenever I wish. Our friend Lin Fong is struggling with these stealthy types. I will lower the background distractions to help him focus it. When he gets the hang of it, I will increase the challenge. Suddenly, Lin Fong breathes fire like a legendary drake. He tries to roast his foe. Caught in the heat, the warrior turns to dust. But wait, Lin Fong shoots a playful look back. Time to bring the rest of the crew energy flows into the sphere, as Chuyi asks if the team is prepared. Hatlan Linhai and Theatum are bathed in glow, looking very brave. In a blink, they vanish into the training zone. Only Chuvan stays behind, cuddling a puppy with a puzzled look. They both look at Chu Yi with adorable, pleading eyes. Reading her mind, he tells her to forget it. Oh no, denied. She makes the funniest, saddest little face. Left alone, Chuvan builds a snowman. Sununya looks at Chu Yi. While observing the fight, she asks, "Tell me, young man, how does using that mirror core feel?" As the combat displays flicker, he says, "It feels truly amazing. It feels like a perfect sturdy key. I can sense a deep connection growing with this item already. Each time I hold this link, my bond with this world strengthens. I can feel my control over this power growing." Suna is actually impressed, but stays cool. "You have some talent. Treat this artifact like it is part of your own body. Practice will make this feel like second nature. Once you master it, this entire world will follow your every command." While they talk, Chuvan stays busy nearby, politely bowing to her new friend made of snow. Chuvan looks up, her cute expression disappearing. She gives a fierce look and knocks the snowman's head off. The narrator speaks of the master's true power. Facing the blue dragon Chu, Yi vows to make it a reality. A tired Chuvan runs to the fallen snowball. She bends down to hug the snowman's head by the wall. Deep in the icy reflections, she saw them coming. Chuvan froze in total terror, cold sweat trailing down her pale face. Her wolf pup growled protectively, "Big brother, Chunit, help me!" Suddenly Chunit appeared, shattering the ice wall with zero effort. After turning the barrier into sparkling little shards, he asked kindly, "Is something wrong?" Chuvan gripped his arm quite fearfully. Pointing ahead, she stammered, "It's her, that scary lady in red. I saw her right inside the mirror." They both inspected the ice. She insisted, "She's definitely there. Now let's head to the entrance of Black Wind Valley." A weary woman arrived, dressed in elegant but dusty red silks. Several muscular guards followed her, wrapped in crimson-colored cloth. She whispered, "You 6 scout ahead. Don't get caught." The path forward was hidden by a thick blanket of white snow. Sensing a strange vibe, Lady Hong signaled them to stop. "Hold on. 2 people are heading right for our position." Stealthily entering the valley, 2 of them slipped through a crack. She looked down her face, showing quite a lot of exhaustion. "The other 2 stay close and protect me." Watching them, Chuyi realized his mind was linked to the mirror. This let him see everything inside Black Wind Valley. It was like the whole valley was filled with security cameras. No matter her tricks, she couldn't escape his gaze. So she survived. Her breathing seems rather chaotic and messy. She likely used a secret revival technique to cheat death again. Since she hadn't fully recovered, he gently patted his sister's head. That woman was laughably weak and walked right into his trap. "Xiaoyun, don't worry. Big brother's starting a game." Chuyun calmed down and asked, "What kind of game, brother? Cat and mouse?" He replied. Meanwhile, Lady Hong watched carefully. Something felt off. It was too quiet for her liking. Her intuition screamed that many eyes were watching her every move. "I must find this anomaly before reporting back to the boss." She ordered her 2 red-banded henchmen to move further ahead. "You 2 advance. Please stay hidden and don't be seen." They sped across the ice while Lady Hong admired the destruction. The first gate was ruined, split perfectly down the middle. "It looks like a single sword strike did all this." A familiar golden light flickered from some weak, moving tentacles. They wriggled around pathetically, as if they were begging for help. She skidded to a halt, kicking up a small dust cloud. Tentacles glowing with golden light sprouted from the frozen ground. Lady Hong gritted her teeth. Holy light, so it was him. She checked her bracelet. "Should I report to the boss?" "No. That would show my weakness and ruin the mission. I better check the secret valley post for new intel. Finding Chuyi would be great, but no luck." Her bracelet kept blinking a bright red warning. Signal failed twice. She was shocked. Even the top-secret merchant radio was totally blocked. A spatial glitch, simply impossible. Lady Hong focused as red strings danced out. These strings run on pure soul energy. Usually barriers cannot stop them, but the atmosphere is heavy. A strange pressure is making things quite slow. Red threads reached out everywhere. She felt the red-banded guys, though faint. Suddenly, a bright light made the men look away. Oops, she coughed blood as the link broke. A huge force suddenly poofed those guys away. She looked quite worried now. 2 more gone. Is our opponent really that talented? "Are there more uninvited guests here?" Lady Hong got upset and summoned 4 puppets. "No time, I cannot win while this tired." A cute girl with pigtails peered down from above. "You look pale." Lady Hong turned fast. "What brings you here?" The girl landed lightly. "Just passing by, I helped while you were sick, collecting fees from our associates. So I am taking this quest now, right?" "Suspicious. Did you break my favorite puppets?" Yingji twirled her hair. I do not understand. You look troubled. You should go nap now. Maybe there are more guests at this party. Do not die yet. She looked quite pale. You are so sassy. Yingji smiled sweetly. I learned all my best jokes from you. Lady Hong ran. Fine, you do the scouting. A giant ice cube fell, stopping her cold. She backed away as Yingji looked up. Figures just like her started falling from the sky. He made so many clones. The clones began their clever surprise attack. Hey, when did you get such fancy dolls? Lady Hong just stared at the shiny ice. Screams echoed from inside the ice. She looked shocked. Please spare me for now. We were besties, why be so mean? You would ditch friends just to level up. Meanwhile, Yingji stayed busy, swatting away those pesky clones. They were leveling up and shouting with power, unlike the mindless mobs from before. Which high-level boss created these monsters? She wondered, using defensive skills to parry the puppets' non-stop strikes. Oh boy, they were quick learners. As they mimicked her moves, a spicy, terrifying aura flared from her slender frame. She glared at those copycats and growled softly. If I lose to fakes, my guild reputation will totally tank. With a graceful sweep, she unleashed a massive energy wave. I've survived more hellish grinding than Lady Hong ever could. With one final devastating blow, she finished off every single remaining puppet for good. Elsewhere, Lady Hong faced spooky visions of her victims. Hong dear, do not let shiny gold and silver blind you. Remember our slum corn cakes. Have mercy, please. Just release me, and I promise to keep your secrets forever. I'll even leave the province. Your subordinate snatched my dear fiancée and threatened her if I didn't obey. Be kind, and I'll confess everything. Don't be silly. My 10-year-old son is still waiting for me at home. If I die, he's an orphan. For the child's sake, let me live. I'll even accept a life of shame. I just want to see him grow. Let me honor my mother. Is that too much to ask, Lady Hong? You killed your own family for a title. Was wealth better than 20 years of friendship? Then a kind lady appeared. Reaching for a messy child, she said, Are you hungry? Little one, wash your face and come home with me. From this day forward, your name shall be Hong. Tears filled Hong's eyes as she choked out, Foster mother. But suddenly the woman's gentle face twisted into a nasty snarl. With eyes of pure hatred, she lunged forward. I saved the best food and finest silks for you. I never imagined you were such an ungrateful monster. Every lesson I taught you used as a weapon against me. Hong blocked the attack and shrieked, Get out! The vision summoned crimson banners to control a massive skull. For once, Lady Hong looked truly rattled and panicked. She screamed at the ghosts, I live in a mansion now. Servants bow just to bring me luxury soup. That girl from the slums died long ago. I fought tooth and nail to rule all of Tianlan's commerce. Do you think I'm foolish enough to leave loose ends by ending you? My reputation stayed flawless all these years. All those years would be a total joke otherwise. Your sudden apology is just a little too late. It is better to watch you pay the price for being so stubborn. That way the lesson really sticks. Crossing me brings trouble to your loved ones. Why not find a new job? You aren't exactly a charity. No more bargaining. If you pass away, the boy is an orphan. You brought this fate upon him yourself. People think Lord Lo gave me everything. He didn't. I earned it all with my own clever little schemes. That's far more real than hollow friendship. You call me ungrateful. You're the one who raised me this way. If you truly saw me as family, you'd help me reach the top, not cling to your quiet life. You told me to stop dreaming because you simply couldn't keep up with my grand ambition. With a final command, the giant skull fired, popping those spooky nightmares. They were just her own scary bad dreams. The energy beam hit a mirror, but the glass shimmered and reflected the attack right back at her. Yingji appeared behind her. Those replicas almost ended my fun. Now you owe me a lovely explanation, don't you? But before she finished, Lady Hong's red silks flew out, wrapping her tight, as the energy rushed back again. With a flash, she landed in an illusion, some lonely ruins. My own memory. How odd. A monster lurked behind. It looked ready to swallow her in one big gulp. She turned around, quite annoyed. You won't quit, will you? The monster vanished, leaving only a shiny mirror. So this maze uses illusions, too. What a silly little trick. Red threads sprouted from her arm as her gaze turned quite chilly. I won't give up. Then puppets appeared. A level 35 guardian puppet popped into existence. She ordered the summon, Go and break these mirrors. But before it could swing, the mirror caught its reflection, and a shadow twin climbed right out of the darkness. An energetic scuffle broke out between them. The sound of their clashing was enough to give anyone a shiver. Across the maze, Lady Hong watched with a worried face. Her puppets were fighting each other. Oh dear, stop. What's gotten into you? You're supposed to be my helpers. Listen and stop, she cried as their armor shattered. They fought like wild things until everything went quiet. Covered in dents, Lady Hong trembled, feeling quite upset. My goodness, what are you trying to achieve? One puppet gave a strange smile, and then poof, they all vanished. Lady Hong's pulse raced as she scanned the area in a total panic. Her puppets were hijacked. What a nightmare. Talk about a major level gap. She was sweating buckets, realizing Zhu Yi's mastery was on another planet. With no backup in sight, it was time for her signature move, getting the heck out of there. The boss has to hear about this, she muttered, sprinting back, like her life depended on it. But then, crack, the ground split open, and her only escape route vanished into thin air. Suddenly, she was sliding down a bridge of ice snap. Her puppet strings broke like dry twigs. Ouch. A painful thud against a wall stopped her cold. Worse yet, her puppet strings were completely jammed. She was just a fly in his web. Stop playing around and show yourself, Zhu Yi, she screamed. Outside, our hero was totally chilling, maintaining the perfect illusion. His voice echoed politely through the maze. Please keep struggling. It's exactly how your poor victims felt. Talk about a taste of medicine. He adjusted the mirrors with a smile. A custom killing field just for you. Time for her to bargain. Wait, my guild is massive. If you let me go, I'll tell Boss Liu to be nice. Not a chance. She shrieked. The guild's army is coming for you, you meanie. Out came her secret weapon, a high-level explosive puppet. You can't control this one, Zhu Yi. Eat this. A massive blast rocked the area. If I'm going down, you're coming with me. Boom! As the smoke cleared, Lady Hong was looking a bit worse for wear. She felt light and totally confused. Then came the bad news. Her legs were totally gone. Zhu Yi's polite voice drifted in. Oh, leaving so soon. I haven't given you permission to die yet. She laughed through her tears. Are you a literal demon? Just end it, she begged. He just shrugged. But I love watching prey struggle. Isn't that your hobby? Why stop now? Don't be a hypocrite. Broken and defeated, she propped herself up one last time. You're the one who finished that woman before, aren't you? She mumbled, head hanging low. I'm next, but tell me, are Zhu Hang and Zhu Xiao still safe? She searched the sky for him. A simple yes echoed back. That confirmation hit her hard, making the lady flinch in shock. Suddenly, glowing chains materialized everywhere. A blue spark zipped toward her, putting her on high alert. Whoosh! Those magical chains flew out, tangling Lady Hong in a shimmering, glowing spiderweb. Chu turned to his sister, his expression turning serious but kind. Xiaoyun, please look away for this. I'll make this quick. But Xiaoyun stepped forward bravely. Big brother, please. Let me do it. Chu Yi was stunned as his little sister balled up her tiny fists. She tried to hurt Sister Xiaoren. I used to be a scaredy cat, but not anymore. She made a brave promise hand over her heart. I can't let her haunt me forever. Please let me finish this. Chu Yi gave her a gentle head pat. His sweet, reassuring voice made her blush. All right then, I'll be right here by your side, Xiaoyun. In a flash, they teleported to the trapped Lady Hong. The villain just grinned. What a cute little brat. Must be nice having a big brother's protection, she mocked. You really think you can end me? Lady Hong thrashed against her magical restraints, but those chains were on a whole different level. The chains dug in deep as the scene got messy. Xiaoyun wiped her face, her fear completely gone. You're a truly evil woman. Xiaoyun summoned a beautiful ice crystal, while Lady Hong just laughed. A tiny ice cube. Really, I remember when you were just a crybaby hiding behind your brother. Now you're playing hero. Xiaoyun stayed cool as a cucumber, launching the sparkly crystal forward. It pierced right through Lady Hong, shattering the chains. Even then, she kept screaming about her own greatness. The Chu family belonged to me, she yelled, grabbing a shard. How could a legend lose to a kid? She hurled the shard at Xiaoyun. Go to hell, Chu Yi shouted as a wave of power erupted. But Xiaoyun wasn't afraid. She crushed the shard into dust. You won't bother my big brother ever again. With a final word, she turned the crystal into a cloud. Then a surge of ice finished the job. It was quite a sight as Lady Hong's eyes rolled back, surrounded by a swarm of shimmering shards. Ding system, alert. Lady Hong's energy absorbed. Mirror core at 35%. Looking for more helpers. The Crimson Vermilion Phantom's record was finally filed away. Clutching a sparkling frost gem, Chu Yun whispered softly to her brother. I won't let my weakness be your downfall again, she vowed. Chu Yi pulled her into a warm, protective embrace. Well done, Xiaoyun. Your courage has truly leveled up today. She gripped his hand tightly, eyes shimmering with grateful tears. He kept his voice soft and encouraging. As Lady Hong's image dissolved, it was obvious Chu Yun had finally found her strength. Deep within a secret cavern, a massive tactical map glowed with crimson markers. A shadowed figure sat there analyzing every single point. A girl stepped from the gloom, meeting his freezing gaze. Her usefulness was finished, but these new intruders, they were seriously high level. Luan glared at his shifting compass. It looks like someone has compromised our hidden base. This cursed relic, crafted from demonic remains, held an ancient Dark Lord's essence. It granted its wielder terrifying power and massive level boosts. Seeing the crackle of lightning, Luan called forth his personal elite warriors, the Dark Deer Squad. Instantly, several shadows appeared, dropping to one knee before their master. Their eyes burned with absolute unwavering loyalty for their next mission. The team consisted of high-level masters, a spirit mage, a darkstone warrior, a skilled swordsman, and an agile assassin. Luan's expression remained colder than ice. Blackwind Valley needs a cleanup. It's time I took out the trash. Our great master requires total silence for his recovery. Eliminate every single intruder without hesitation or mercy. Luan gestured, manifesting glowing blood-red orbs for his men. These berserker pills will awaken your true hidden high-level potential. A blonde fighter stood and bowed with respectful focus. Rest easy, master. My shadow guards will ensure the intruders vanish completely. Pathetic fools, he hissed, unleashing a wave of violet energy. Get out of my sight, he commanded in a low growl. Find that mouse, yes. Suddenly a vision of the burning underworld manifested. Amidst the hellfire, a weary voice echoed through the blistering heat. Far too much noise. Behind Lady Hong, dozens of helpless prisoners were chained in the darkness. Their wrists were bound tight, rendering them motionless. She knelt before her lord, offering 177 souls as a tribute. Then the psychic memory shattered into dust. Boiling with fury, Chu Yi cursed the villainous scum of the Mammoth Guild. His eyes flared blue with pure killing intent. That assassin wasn't recycled by the dungeon when she fell. Something is wrong. The guild surely knows their girl is dead. I'm positive Luan is already closing in on our location right now. Sacrificing innocent lives to demons for power, I need to get this evidence to my mentor. He opened his system interface immediately. Only Master Wong could mobilize a counter-strike fast enough to crush Luan and his guild. On the line, Wong Hai picked up. Shizure Chu Yi, why call so late, my student? Chu Yi wasted no time reporting the crisis. Sir, we have a code red. I've discovered the Mammoth Guild's darkest atrocities deep inside the valley. He politely summarized the entire situation for his shocked teacher. They're feeding humans to some shadow beast, but there's more. He omitted the prism's truth, cleverly blaming his findings on the late Lady Hong. With a solid cover story ready, Chu Yi began to spin his bluff with a perfectly calm expression. Lady Hong confessed that this demonic creature is actually a stabilizing dimensional rift. Those souls are meant to force the portal open. Once it's ready, a legion of demons will pour into our world. Our country will face total annihilation just like a century ago. Wang He listened, his face as unreadable as a calm lake. Crossing his arms, he asked about the gate's status. It's currently overloaded with energy. Chu Yi replied, sticking to the facts. It's effectively in a food coma. We have one final window to strike before that portal becomes a permanent nightmare. Realizing the danger, Wang Hai nodded. I'm using my authority to alert the military high command. We're moving out now. Vanguard squads are deploying to seal the valley immediately. As for you, retreat at once. That is a formal command, soldier. Chu Yi tried to argue, but the world suddenly shifted. Crimson lightning began to slice through the heavens like shattered glass. The feed cut out, leaving only static and silence. The connection was dead. Luan had finally found his prey. He's faster than any high-level boss I've seen. The group huddled together as the sky turned blood red, their faces filled with worry. Swan stared upward, praying it was just a natural storm. Big Brother Yi, is this really our final boss fight? Chu Yi ignored the dread and pointed to the holographic map. Emergency Luan's strike team is closing in fast. Everyone gather up. He immediately started drafting a tactical exit for his friends. Listen carefully, because we only get one shot at this. Luan is level 46 with a full elite squad. We're hopelessly outmatched. I'm getting you all to safety while I buy time. I'll stall them until reinforcements arrive. But Ling Feng stood his ground, scratching his head with an awkward, stubborn grin. He was clearly terrified for his friend, but couldn't be soft. Send the girls, but I'm no coward. I didn't train to fleet. Besides, you're not hogging all the hero points today. Chu Yi simply rolled his eyes at his friend's reckless, light-hearted bravado. Chu Yi shot him a sharp look. Sheng Ling Fen stopped the drama. That level 40 to 26 gap was huge, yet he wasn't alone. Even Sweet Suran stood firm. Big brother, yeah, I'm staying too. Soon the whole squad showed their heroic spirit. We're a team. No one fights this monster solo. We want to help. You can't carry us every single time. What, we have S-rank skills. Together we can win. Chu Yi remained totally deadpan, looking completely unbothered by the sentiment. He sighed, clearly exhausted by their brave antics. These low-level heroes were a major headache. Finally, he let them pass. But first, he laid down the law. Fine. If you're staying, I'm changing the battle plan right now. I'll use space magic to trap Luan and his goons in separate zones. You'll each face one in a duel. I'll be watching, but listen up. This is real combat, not a game. Give it everything you've got. Most importantly, don't throw your lives away. Just stall them until the reinforcements arrive. If it's too much, call me and I'll warp you out. Clear. His long speech didn't dampen their spirits one bit. They were pumped. Understood, leave it to us. Meanwhile, the villainous Luan was creeping closer. Seeing them so relaxed made him snap. Dark mist billowed from his back. You pathetic tiny insects. It's how you move. Chuyi unleashed his special cubic space. Let the games begin. Golden light swallowed the minions as magic circles flared. The boss felt his underlings' energy start to vanish. He realized instantly what was happening. Spatial distortion. Within seconds, Shadow Strike was warped to a desolate wasteland. Suran was waiting there, blade ready. She lunged forward, swinging her giant sword with a mighty roar. But her heavy strike only hit air and afterimages. The real Shadow Strike remained totally untouched. So this little brat is a girl. She mocked with level 40 pride. What a shame. Can a level 26 even touch me? Suran stayed silent, spinning her massive blade. The tip lunged like a bullet, but only found more shadows. She didn't flinch. Instead, her purple eyes grew cold with pure, unwavering focus. With a flick of her wrist, Suran slashed again. Success Shadow Strike was forced to block with her bare hands. A hint of respect entered her voice. You can track my shadow steps. Suran didn't say a word. She flipped her grip, swinging the heavy metal with both hands. It looked like a rookie challenging a grandmaster. She barely clipped the cloak as Shadow Strike landed gracefully. Poor Suran was trying to stay calm, but the pressure was building. Even without muscle, a level 40's power is terrifying. Beating her in a fair fight, that wouldn't be easy. Watching from the sidelines, Chuyi narrowed his eyes. He sent a telepathic message. Xiaoan, don't try to overpower her. Her speed and level are way beyond your stats. Use those sharp succubus senses to track her movements. Activate your sword formation to find her. An assassin is weak without their shadows. Once exposed, her power will plummet. Annoyed by Suran's persistence, Shadow Strike stopped playing around and went for a deadly finishing move. Facing a storm of steel, Suran slammed her sword down. Suddenly, time itself seemed to slow to a crawl. The deadly shards bounced off like toys. A magic rune glowed beneath her, and a ghostly spirit began to strike. Meet the Phantom Sword Shadow Formation. Here's a quick breakdown of how this cool skill works. This level 1 circle summons a sword soul to stun the enemy. It adds a nasty poison effect and a final parting blow. No matter how many clones Shadow Strike made, the Phantom Sword sliced through every single one. While she was still trash-talking, the Ghost Sword cut her deep. Shadow Strike froze, clutching her chest in pure shock. Wait, what just happened? For the first time, fear flickered in her eyes at the sight of that strange magic. Every second inside the zone made her slower. Her stealth was broken and the poison was starting to burn. Her face turned pale as she broke into a sweat. This clever girl, she even poisoned her blade. Then Shadow Strike sank into the floor like it was water. She emerged seconds later looking completely refreshed. My rank is higher, but in this messy brawl, my stealth is useless. I'm being totally countered. She grumbled to herself, but charged straight at Suran. This annoying circle must be coming from the girl. If she dies, the spell ends. She lunged, aiming for her gut. Die! She screamed with pure malice. Shadow Strike still didn't realize she was in deep trouble, still bragging about her high level. But Suran caught her wrist and yanked it away, leaving the assassin stunned. Where do you think you're going? Suran held on tight, ignoring the blood on her clothes. Suddenly, the floating blades moved as if held by invisible ghosts. Sharp blades glinted toward the sky. Suran didn't blink, ending the duel with a flawless final strike. The sword soul silenced. But across the battlefield, deep, jagged scars cut through the earth like open wounds. The ground looked shredded by a giant. Boom Lingfang's dragon claw slammed into a heavy, unyielding shield. He didn't flinch. Instead, the excitement of the fight energized him. Witness the power of my dragon's fire. Can that little shield handle this? He activated Blood Frenzy and Flame Fist against his bronze-haired opponent. Holding the shield with one hand, he thrust his spear forward. Stay in your place, you little insect. Lingfang called upon his dragon energy for defense. Their clashing spirits lit the field, but Shukai's spear was deadly. Even with his guard up, that spear didn't slow. It just kept pushing forward with massive, heavy force. He was being pushed back. Tiny cracks started spreading across his dragon shield where the spear tip pressed in. Chu Yi whispered a warning. Ling Fang, he's level 43. His power and defense stats are completely off the charts. Don't take him head on. Use your dragon breath to pester him. Wait for him to snap. That's your opening. Ayo error tijou. Sidkablan one. Shikai grinned, smelling an easy win. He spoke down to his foe with a fake, overly polite sense of pity. A savage style like yours is rare. You're quite skilled for level 26, but sadly your journey ends today. Flexing his muscles, Shikai lunged again. When it comes to pure strength, nobody can ever hope to beat me. Remembering the advice, Ling Fang changed tactics. He retracted his shield and slammed his fist into the ground with everything. That move caught Shikai totally off guard. A thick cloud of dust erupted, leaving the warrior unable to see clearly. Seeing his chance, Ling Fang charged like a bolt of lightning. There it is, the opening I needed. He took a deep breath, readying Chu Yi's suggested move. Shikai realized the danger of that dragon fire breath. He thrust his spear to break the attack, snuffing out the fire, but Shikai only became more aggressive now. He spun on his heel, launching himself toward Ling Fang. His spear glowed brightly as he let out a loud shout. That trap was a setup. Did you think a level 43 was easy? Shikai finally sensed the real danger. He lunged for the kill, shouting, Die! But luck wasn't on his side. Ling Fang was tougher than a stubborn insect. He dodged the strikes, joking, Nice try, Buckethead. That was just a little warm-up for the fans at home. The spear almost hit him several times. Our hero was feeling the heat. Soon, the huge level gap became undeniable. His health bar was sinking fast. Then it happened. Ling Fang tripped, and Shikai sent him flying through the air. He didn't know Chu Yi was waiting for this exact moment. It's time his energy level has finally peaked. But now his defense is wide open. Ling Fang stood up, wiping blood from his lip with a friendly, polite smile. Shikai attacked again, giving no room to breathe. Ling Fang chuckled. Honestly, the harder the fight, the more fun. Ling Fang calmly reached out. It was time to pay him back with interest. That scratch was just the very start. Weren't you bragging about crushing me with force? Now let a pro show you how to settle a debt properly. Blinding rage made Shikai miss the trap. Suddenly, the entire field transformed into a landscape of vibrant crimson energy. Red rain fell as magical waves rose from the ground, wrapping everyone in a very polite, mysterious mist. Ling Fang cheered as massive red orbs flew in. He couldn't escape those sticky orbs clung to his armor like glue. As his stamina drained, he looked shocked. They're actually stealing my hard-earned power and my life essence right now. Shikai tried smashing the glowing orbs. His fury boiled over as he let out a frustrated scream at the heavens. Is this forbidden magic? Ling Fang just laughed cheerfully. Mr. Turtle, even your shell is useless against my brand new skill. Enjoy a taste of your own power. He whispered 4 words. Behold, blood, lust, wrath. Let's explain this skill. This skill steals energy to create crimson orbs. They merge into one giant soul sphere ready for a spectacular explosion. Suddenly, every sphere on Shikai exploded together. The result was a lovely thick red fog covering the whole field. At the hub, our friend Chung-gi was busy. He used magic screens to keep a polite eye on everyone. Most zones were going smoothly thanks to him. Unfortunately, a bit of trouble was starting to brew near Halan. A cheeky skeleton broke her shield and lunged clearly, hoping to ruin her very lovely and stylish outfit. Luckily, kind Chung-gi spotted the danger. Oh no, Halan! He sent mana through the orb. Behold Light's protection. Instantly, a radiant golden shield appeared around Halan, stopping that rude skeleton's bony hand right in its tracks. The holy light was so polite, it simply purified the skeleton, sending it away with a very loud yelp. Once the dust settled, that spooky skeleton crumbled into a neat little pile beside Chung-gi's glowing helper. Alan was super grateful for the backup, but she was just getting started. She shielded her friends with a bubbly, "Thanks a bunch, and I'm not out yet." Meanwhile, Chung-gi kept his cool, quietly monitoring the rest of the squad. He was juggling 5 different battle zones like a total pro. Of course, keeping all those plates spinning was draining his mana way faster than expected. Fortunately, the rest of the crew was doing great for now. Over in Area 6, his sweet sister, Chu Van, was busy having the time of her life with a puppy. That adorable sight really calmed Chung-gi's nerves. Since she is okay, it is finally time to deal with our most annoying problem. That problem was the show-off currently taking up the whole screen. Lu Tuyen was definitely feeling himself, wiping out every enemy with one elegant slash. Chung-gi needed to stall for his team, so he decided to summon a few extra helping hands to slow that guy down. Cue the grand entrance for the Guardians. All at once, a bunch of wacky critters began sprouting right out of the soil. They scrambled upward, totally ready to join the fun. It looked like an ocean of wiggly limbs bursting through the earth everywhere you looked. The Guardian army expanded until every inch of the 1,000-meter zone was packed. Chungi had one very polite request for his new friends. Pretty please stop him. Yet despite the craziness, one person stayed totally chill. A fancy pair of boots just kept wandering forward completely unfazed. Lu Tuyen looked incredibly bored while glancing at the squirmy tentacles below. Just tiny ants, he mused, as a giant wave of energy began to swirl. The aura was so intense it made the grass tremble. For a brief moment, the very air seemed to grow quite heavy around them. As the smoke drifted away, the Red Countess made her fashionable debut. Her eyes were shining with a lovely bright crimson glow. She dashed ahead, leaving some very trendy red light trails in her wake. Lu Tuyen let out a soft chuckle. Not bad at all, Countess. He lifted his hand, looking quite dapper, while complaining about the noise. Suddenly, purple sparks zapped outward in the blink of an eye. The blast caught the Countess, sending her tumbling onto the lawn. Lu Tuyen let out a sigh. Why not quit hiding and play fair? A strange compass drifted into view as he readied his final trick. Vivid red energy started spinning around his remarkably calm expression. Everything began to click into place, creating a massive, glowing red spirit right behind his back. When he raised his hand, his giant red friend mimicked him. Ready? And go. A massive palm slammed down, tidying the entire battlefield in one boom. Just as the chaos reached its peak, Chu Yi sprang high into the clouds. A strike headed right for him, but a golden glint sparkled on his brow. A shimmering shield appeared, keeping him totally safe from the explosion. Lu Tuyen glanced up with a grin. Well, look at this level 30 mouse. He mentioned he was hiding 50% of his true strength. How cute. That glowing shield softly faded away after absorbing the full force of that huge impact. Suddenly, Luan jumped up to confront Chu Yi, but our main character blinked behind him. Instantly, Luan looked quite puzzled, his eyebrows twitching in surprise. He glanced back, sounding a tad impressed. Borrowing that mirror prison core and leveling it up this far is quite a feat. Are you a total natural or just really brave? Chu Yi asked nicely. Oh, you're far too kind, boss. Compared to your plot of feeding souls to a dark portal, my skills are just hobbies, he thought. Those minions didn't slow him down. I just sent them to buy a few heartbeats a time. Luan let out a grunt. That Madame Hong sure was a chatterbox, huh? Owie, she spilled all your secrets before heading out, Chu Yi joked. People really do get talkative when they're about to see a game over screen. He obviously doesn't realize this core shows me his past. Luan lifted his palm-gathering power with a rather mischievous glint in his eye. Hand it over, and I might recruit you to my merry squad. It would be such a shame to lose a player with your talent. Chu Yi began his transformation with a chuckle. You have been a puppet for too long, haven't you? Did you forget how to stand on your own? Luan kept up the polite act. A wise main character knows which way the wind blows. I could wake the Demon Clan right now if I felt like it. Then Blackwind Valley is toast and your luck runs out. Chu Yi completed his power-up and gave a wonderfully sassy reply. You do not have the guts. Your little guild is just a noisy cover for your boss's nap time, isn't it? Chu Yi's gentle voice rang out. Your master is still snoozing, and a sidekick like you just isn't ready for the main stage. Luan's face turned a bright, angry red at that remark. He growled, You sure have a sassy mouth for someone so young. I am about to give your soul a very nasty game over But before Luan could react, a glittering golden circle materialized right above his head. A brilliant beam of light shone down like a theater spotlight. Luan scrambled to raise his hands, trying to shield himself from the heavy aura. A radiant spirit appeared, conjuring a massive sparkling blade. It hoisted the sword high, preparing to deliver a truly divine blow. That giant sword was aimed straight for Luan, who was trapped in a red sphere. Luan bellowed, Crimson Hellstream activate. It draws dark energy from across the entire map, creating a massive wave of super intense and chaotic power. Chu Yi noticed a tiny glint growing inside that red bubble. It was time to unleash his level 5 skill, Righteous Judgment. This move showers light blades to catch enemies off guard. The final blow is a shimmering spear that deals a mountain of holy damage. Luan's deep voice echoed through the room. An ambush. How adorable. But against a real titan, your little parlor tricks are just annoying static. Just before the blow landed, Chu Yi clasped his hands in a frantic prayer. Glittering glass shards manifested, teasing Luan with dozens of his own reflections. However, a crimson wave of energy shattered those mirrors in one brutal, swift instant. With death looming, Chu Yi dove back, the blast's intense heat singeing his clothes. He finally slid to a halt, putting distance between himself and the charred ground. Wiping a bit of blood from his lip, Chu Yi clutched his aching chest. Luan adjusted his compass, noting politely, Well now, that was actually quite charming. A level 30 bug actually managed to scratch me, but it's time to finish this. He triggered his fusion skill, calling forth a demon lord's presence and sending his stats through the stratosphere. As a fiery red phantom loomed over him, Luan smiled. Making me use the origin compass, you should honestly feel honored. He raised a palm and declared, now please be so kind as to vanish. Chu Yi's eyes widened as a massive shockwave of pure power ripped through the air. Luan's attack pulverized the earth, unleashing a tide of absolute destruction. Chu Yi was tossed through the air like a rag doll. The blast sent him spinning. As the dust finally settled, he was seen limping forward, barely staying upright with shaky, battered hands. Looking up weakly, he realized level 46 with an epic item. Talk about an unfair power scale. Even with my darkness counter, this level gap is simply too massive to bridge. He let out a frustrated sigh. Tixin, he shouted. Meanwhile, in her realm, the fight was taking a grim turn. A cold blade whistled toward her unprotected neck. Zhao Yi lunged forward, parrying the steel and ending the threat instantly. A projection flickered to life as Luan's arrogant voice filled the room. So you're managing 5 dimensions with that mirror core. You're quite the talented multitasker. He offered a polite smirk. No wonder my phantoms were struggling. You've got a lovely home field advantage. They'll break free soon, though. How can you even fight while spread so thin? Chu Yi stood tall, his voice freezing. Don't you worry about my focus. Inside, however, he was sweating buckets, juggling 5 realms while facing Luan. This mental strain is a total nightmare. Time for a big gamble. I'm cutting the power to the dimensions. I'll channel every drop of mana into the mirror prison core. Instead, Luan leaped forward, swinging his red axe high. Let me show you the terrifying reality of a 16-level difference. The blow hit like a falling star, shattering the floor and sending debris flying. Zhou Yi vanished and instantly launched a blinding counterattack. Light's judgment. Dazzling golden lightning rained down from the heavens. Every thunderous bolt targeted Luan's smug face. Zhou Yi's gaze sharpened his eyes, glowing with a polite but firm determination. He slammed his iron chains down, trapping Luan in a cage of cold steel. Divine lightning chains of the heavenly prison. S- rank level 3. He wove celestial energy into a glowing cage, locking his enemy in place. Backing away to catch his breath, he leaned against a massive stone pillar. Zhao Yi used the rock as a starting block, launching himself forward with sudden power. However, from the center of those rattling chains, a crimson glow flared, erupting to turn the entire cage into dust. The blade Zhao Yi had carefully crafted shattered in his hand. Sweat poured down his face as he reached out for God's hand. A massive spectral palm appeared to block Luan's sinister red projectile. But the force was too much, causing even that divine hand to crumble. Zhao Yi suppressed a cry of pain, ignoring the mist of blood around him. Bonefang emerged from the shadows, snapping its giant jaws to offer backup. I've got your back! 3 legendary powers suddenly clashed. The impact triggered a massive blast across the scorched ground. Both Bonefang and Zhao Yi were sent reeling as his transformation failed. Poor Bonefang began to flicker and fade away. Zhao Yi shakily stood up, watching with a heavy heart as his companion disappeared. Once Zhao Yi knew his friend was safe, Luan descended like a hunter, mocking the dragon soul's reckless courage. Impressive work, kid. Sadly, your little tricks are useless against a true master. His gaze drifted toward the glass fragments floating nearby. Indeed, every shard revealed a glimpse of a different struggle. One piece showed Swan being hit by a storm of feathers. Elsewhere, Ling Fong lay defeated while Xiaolan struggled desperately. She was being dragged by her hair, cornered by a relentless, undead mob. A 4th shard showed Ling Tong pinned to a wall like a doll. Even Taixin had been pierced by a cold blade, falling unconscious in the wreckage. Luan simply let out a dark laugh. You can't even save yourself, yet you dream of protecting others. How tragic. With a simple wave, he pinned Zhao Yi under crushing gravity. At this level, you don't even have the privilege of being a hero. Zhao Yi's fingers clawed the dirt, fighting the suffocating pressure. He let out a thunderous shout, his eyes burning with an unbreakable will. Divine Lightning Child of the Apocalypse. S- level 3. Activate. In his Apocalypse stance, his defense against status effects rose 60%. For 15 seconds, his lightning damage receives a massive 60% boost. Putting on his glowing battle plate again, he charged straight for Luan. He swung with a ferocity that made Luan jump back to avoid it. The power of his swing was so huge it tore the ground apart. Yet Luan caught his arm, easily disarming him with a casual flick. A victorious smirk touched his lips as Luan pressed his lead. He landed a heavy punch on Zhao Yi's face, breaking his mask. He held up the glass shard, showing a suffering Ling Tong riddled with arrows. Listen and watch. See your friends walk toward their end. Let this total helplessness sink into your soul. Finishing his speech, Luan casually crushed the glass. A delicate web of cracks bloomed across its surface. Xiao Yi's eyes flushed crimson as fury filled him. He struggled, but the man's grip remained unshakable. A sudden bone-chilling shriek filled the air. Luan froze as a dragon-marked gate emerged from thin air. He looked around, feeling a bit dazed. This energy feels quite out of place, doesn't it? Xiao Yi watched the glass panels vibrating violently. The prison core's power was acting quite unruly today. A crimson pillar spiraled toward the heavens. The shockwave forced Luan to release his captive quite quickly. Xiao Yi fell, landing weakly on the cold floor. His bruised wrist had turned a frighteningly dark shade. Such a primal mental attack. My soul is shivering. This is surely the power of level 60. Luan panicked, muttering that digestion wasn't over. Did that blast wake it up ahead of schedule? Great Master, please settle your righteous temper. I haven't even finished preparing your lovely offerings yet. The gate groaned open, spilling out thick fog. Shadows reached out, eager to escape their ancient prison. Panting, Zhao Yi healed his wrist while glass shattered. The spatial barrier couldn't handle this rowdy energy. Every separate space collapsed into one chaotic mess. Everyone was tossed into the same dark abyss together. The space is gone. Are you finished? Ren. Right then, the situation took a turn for the worse. Black tendrils slammed down, splitting the earth. They sprouted like weeds, trapping the poor, startled guests. Massive boulders were crushed into tiny bits instantly. The creature wailed, "I'm hungry, give me energy!" The ladies huddled together, staring at the beast. Rocks flew as the monster crawled from the pit. Ren watched, feeling both terrified and quite impressed. The colossal beast was certainly making a mess. A shadow snatched a woman, dangling her upside down. "Captain, please help me!" she cried out. He shouted her name, Feng Xuan, in total shock. A stone armor user. Luan's eyes remained cold. "Being chosen by the master is a wonderful honor. You boys stay here and look after him. I'll go find fresh gifts." But Lang intervened. "Boss, are you really planning to ditch us here?" From the circle he barked, "Be silent, fool. I'll fetch more snacks to keep our master happy. Those wiggly vines are spreading like a hungry carpet. Kindly finish them off so our master can eat." One poor guy fought back, shouting, "Let me go," as the rest of the team scurried away. "Quickly, use the blood essence pill." Someone tossed one in the crunchy treat, releasing a surge of power. As it went down, his strength reached a new level. With glowing red eyes, he looked heroic. A vine lashed out, creating a dusty mess. The boss lacked a face, sporting only a giant mouth. Dangling captives before them, it grumbled about low-tier snacks. The squad looked tiny under its massive shadow. The silence broke as dozens of eyes suddenly blinked open all over its lumpy, dark body. Each eye scanned the area for yummy treats. Suddenly, a vine zoomed right toward poor defenseless Swan. Thankfully, Zhou Yi reacted first.